like a new StreamYard intro song? I've been playing so much dinosaur games on stream lately that I didn't recognize it. How's it going, everyone? We have some regular streams today. Starting off with Amouranth was allegedly home invaded, held at gunpoint as some very strange individual tried to rob it. I mean, that's not strange that someone would rob someone with a lot of money, because this chick has so much money. It's crazy. Now, there is some other evidence that shows that it probably did happen, but we need to keep this with a grain of salt because she has faked things in the past. So we want to be careful a little bit about this, okay? But we're going to go through the story and perhaps why it happened. And there's actually been a string of attacks on streamers recently. It could be that the incels are finally rising up to take over, and we're going to take a look at that today. We've also got the third Johnny Somali. We had Johnny Somali 1, now working on the cabbage farms, well, soon to be working the cabbage farms in Korea. We had Johnny Somali 2, kicked out of Japan and his channel deleted. But unfortunately, another Johnny Somali 3.0, has arrived in Japan, and he is harassing the humble convenience store clerks and going around and every big booty bitch you can find and harassing them as well. We'll take a quick look at that. He was also temporarily banned, but it looks like not Twitch, but Kick has brought him back. And of course, we have Sean, potentially criminal, versus Destiny. Well, it looks like it's starting up because Destiny's not very happy with our boy, potentially criminal Sean, who's just giving some very honest and some very obvious feedback from his very real legal career. But anyway, we'll get into the first story. This won't be a 10-hour stream, but you never know, right? You never know. So this is Amouranth. You may have never heard of her before. I think we've talked about it once or twice. She is a streamer, and she is one of those people that has a spicy link in her bio that provides you with some exclusive content. Now, there's an interesting thing about Amouranth is that she seems to be going through a transformation at the moment. Not that I follow these people very closely, but I have been seeing it on the side glance, in the rear view mirror sort of thing like that. And it seems like she's going through her own Melanie Mac transition, where she's trying to dab on the liberals. And she had this really weird clip that I saw of her recently, where she showed up like this, without her makeup, without her hair done, which is a bit weird for someone who primarily makes their money through selling exclusive subscriptions to their own special websites, right? And she does the whole ride the banana, the hot tub streams, everything like that. But she showed up in a stream like this, looking very unkempt a few days ago. And she was talking about how she wished that all of the liberals and people on various alphabet alliances would have been living right in the middle of the fires in Hollywood. Some very spicy words were said indeed. And I believe that she's primarily on Kick now only. She used to be on Twitch. And I'm not sure if this is accurate, but I think she's one of, if not the most top earner on OnlyFans. And but one thing that I think that she does, which is actually good, is that she just buys a lot of different businesses and starts investing. Like the more you invest, the more she's going to get ahead. And apparently she owns like a bunch of gas stations, 7-Elevens and McDonald's or something. At least that's the plan. But anyway, we might go take a look at this later, where her rant, if I can find the clip for it, against how people should be DIFing, if you know that acronym, DF. Was it DF? DIF. DIAF in the middle of Hollywood. Anyway, this is a risky scroll on her timeline. Very, very risky scroll. So I think I've got the right links registered up. She tweeted a couple of hours ago. This is fairly recent. It actually happened about 4 o'clock my time, so about 4 hours ago. I'm being robbed too at gunpoint, which is a very strange tweet to tweet out. Because if you're being robbed at gunpoint, typically you don't have a lot of time to tweet, which is a little bit suspicious, I'll be honest. I was immediately suspicious of this. She also goes on to say, I believe I shot one of them. They wanted crypto, and that's what they were yelling at me when they pulled me out of bed. This was a home invasion. SWAT here now. I am safe. And she posted this picture of her luxurious mansion with the police outside. And this is a real photo of her house, as far as I know, and a very real photo of the police outside. But there was perhaps the idea that maybe this is from a previous swatting attempt, where it's actually Not the SWAT coming to save her, but it would be the ones that were giving her the false call. There was another one, I think, actually, that wasn't the first one. There was another very funny one that says, "This is not a prank, what the fuck, help?" or just what the help. But the first one was just, "I'm being held at gunpoint." And the question arises, how would she know? Like, how would she have the, why wouldn't she call the cops? Why wouldn't she do anything like that? Her story, as I understand it, as I've been piecing this together, because she hasn't posted that much information about it, and it has been a few hours now, so hopefully there'll be a police report to back this up. But she said that what happened is she was in bed in her mansion because she is a multi-millionaire. She's probably one of the richest female content creators out there, to be honest. So she said she was in bed. A guy, or maybe several guys, came through into her room, held a gun to her head, and then said, "Give us all your crypto." And then they gave her a phone, and that's allegedly when she made this tweet, because she thought if she called the police, they would have seen it. So she went instead to call for help on Twitter. Now, there is something that backs this up, but it is a little bit suspicious as well. Then she also posted this video in response to her, "I'm being robbed at gunpoint too." Now, if she did shoot people robbing her, that's very base of her. But she posted this video, which also corroborates the story of all the people that showed up. And again, we believe this to be true at this moment, but we need more details on it. Now, one of the supporting pieces of evidence is that somebody, Ricky, Sticky Icky Ricky, posted this phone call, which appears to be, but of course this can be faked. Like, I'm very, very suspicious of this story because I believe Amouranth faked that she was being held in like like her boyfriend was forcing her to make all the content, and she wanted to go straight. She wanted to be like a trad wife or something. And then as soon as that whole drama blew over, she went just right back to making the same content. This is what leaked as a phone call. Let me know if the audio sounds okay for you guys. So this is allegedly a the police scanner that was picked up at the same time. All right, so this is what the call they're saying. If you can't hear it, it's a little bit garbled. They believe there is an armed robbery, and the perpetrator is trying to get her cryptocurrency. Now, that cryptocurrency detail seems a little bit strange for a phone call, but okay. No audio. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Caller 23 resident. Caller says he believes his wife's being held hostage at gunpoint. Says an armed robbery. The suspects are trying to get her to give her cryptocurrency. Caller has a gun. Caller says he's coming with a gun, but he's not at the location. And then they heard gunshots. No suspect description.
Ouch, he is. Is that too loud? I thought I had my audio turned down.
That's clear. Washington's a Dave in the phone saying the wife is on the balcony. She's unarmed. Caller's going to be in the lounge. He's an Asian male with long hair.
Asian male with long hair. Interesting detail.
Ponytail. Wearing a ballistic vest and underwear.
Ballistic vest and underwear. Like, what the fuck? So I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Do you think this is real? I think at this moment we may as well assume it is true, but I do have my doubts of it. I want to see some what the chat says in the poll. Let me see. Let's see. Is this a work? Real, fake, drama? And then results, and also like the stream, please. Liked stream. I don't know. I think I can give her the benefit of the doubt at the moment, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was a ruse. There's a couple of interesting details in this audio, if it is indeed true. I think she went on to say some other things as well. I got to be careful because, like, if I scroll too carefully, don't scroll too carefully here, then I get in some big trouble, right? Okay. She also said, "I'm covered with blood, but only some of it is mine. I'll update y'all when I'm later, but I'm safe now. Was at gunpoint. They gave me the phone and said, log in with my head to the gun, with the gun to my head. And I tweeted because calling would have been a death sentence." So, and at some point she alleges that she used her own firearms to shoot off these invaders. And if that's true, this is a very scary story. A very scary story if true. Sorry, I missed a thing. Billy Oakey, late and gay. No, that's not true. I was pretty much on time. And Chris K with the £2 is glad to see some regular streams, and we're back. Let's fucking go, meme bros. Yep, there should be some regular streams all this week. Maybe not on Wednesday. because if I have to entertain people in the evening, then I can't stream. That's typically what holds me up unless playing video games. But that's not going to happen until the weekend. Well, I mean, I'll probably play some video games, but there might be a video game stream then. Now, 5 days ago, when I was doing some research on this, trying to determine whether or not it was real, 5 days ago, Amouranth did mention her big fat crypto wallets and things like that. So there's a quick pip here on Amouranth talking about Bitcoin. So it's not unreasonable to assume that some crazy person was like thinking they could get a big score from this chick that obviously has a lot of money, because she talks about how much money she has constantly.
What else?
Let's see what she says.
Is that it?
Mostly it. I mean, I have some Bitcoin, you know, but I wouldn't say that I'm interested in that. I bought it cheap and I'm just holding it. So
she bought it cheap and just holding it, which means she has a lot of it, usually. Here's a hot tip. If you have any cryptocurrency, don't tell anyone. Unless you are in a very loving relationship, you should tell your wife how to access it in the event of your death. I mean, hypothetically, I'm saying if you have a wife, because typically women don't have cryptocurrency, because it's a bit of a male hobby, kind of, if we're being real. There are some base chicks out there that do have it though. But yeah, like if you have like a big stack of cryptocurrency and you're in like a marriage or you have kids or something, leave instructions on how to access that crypto in the event of your death. Because imagine you've got this giant nest egg of hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars eventually in the future when it's worth more money, in theory. And your kids can't use it to make their lives better, right? So that is one thing that happens, and that's why a lot of cryptocurrency actually gets removed from circulation. Is that a lot of the people that have the big stacks of cryptocurrency don't have anyone to share it with, which is a little bit sad. So leave it in your will, leave the instructions in your will, give it to your mum or someone you can trust. Like just put it in like a fireproof box or something, and then maybe say, "Mum, Dad, can you look after this? Only open it if I die," that sort of thing. That could be good. Tudor Studio says they meant ballistic underwear. Well, you might need ballistic underwear to protect yourself from the things that Amouranth probably has running around inside her.
That's something that let me just never say that again. Let that be the last time you say that.
This is good advice. This is good advice.
Thank God.
Never say that again, that you bought low and you're just holding it.
I never had to do this because, like, I tried to buy, I was there on day one when Coinbase launched. I was like, fuck it, let me put $1,000 into this. And I think it was like $1 each for each Bitcoin, or less than that. I was like trying to do it. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just throw 1,000 in this and let it ride. And they denied my order, but I still have the email. It's like, sorry,
oh my
we
God,
were denying this because of fraud. But I don't feel bad because I'll tell you this. I'm the type of guy that's like, this shit went up to $3. I'm out, even though, I have millions of.
Now, there's actually a bit of a fun little detail here, is that I too saw Bitcoin when it was at $1, and I posted about it on Facebook. And then everyone, my friends and family, said, "This is some scam shit, bro. This is some scam shit. Don't get into it." I'm like, okay, you guys are right. I trust you guys. And then I noticed Bitcoin again was at $500. But I'm kind of like this guy. If Bitcoin would have gone up to like $1 from like to $2 or $3, I would have sold out, because I was a cheap, broke college kid. Of course, I would have taken that sort of win. And a similar thing happened with Dogecoin, because I lost the. Well, I mean, I did get some Bitcoin in the end. But when Dogecoin came out, I was one of the first people that started mining it. And I actually mined 4 million Dogecoin on my gaming PC in about an hour. And then I kind of went back to playing video games. Now, I eventually sold this 4 million Dogecoin for much below the market. Actually, I sold it for like a couple $100, which was a lot because it was worth nothing initially. So getting a free couple $100 is great. Obviously, I never would have held it all the way to $1 when it eventually reached the Doge dollar parity. So in theory, I could have made $4 million, but obviously I did not. But I actually do like crypto, but I don't talk about it much anymore because I just like to do price cost averaging. But this may have been the impetus of the actual attack, is that 5 days ago, she was talking about just how much she had. And everyone knows she's got a lot of money, and that probably did motivate this attack if it did indeed occur. Now, it's interesting detail. This is where we have the the rough face when she goes on her rant about where the LGB and or T's can live during the Hollywood fires, which is a very interesting thing to say. Anyway, one of the details in that alleged police video call was that it was an Asian male. Now, there was another Asian male potentially attacking streamers, and this is called a clip called "Creep Tries to Attack the Sysathon." I actually don't know who these people are. I think one of them is Pokemon. But there was a bit of an incel attack. You can see the chat saying creepy stalkers are ooh. Let's see what happened. They actually had to cancel their streamathon because of this, I believe.
Oh.
So okay, got some girls. They're getting some ice cream. I think they're at like a wharf or something or a pier. Americans do that, right? They like have little festivals on piers and stuff.
Ready? What's good?
Oh no, I know that one. That's Emiru, right? She's like Asmongold's friend.
I think we're just gonna go. Let's go.
All right, so they get the ooh, they get the ick, and they start making their retreat.
Oh no, we're not.
But the creepy stalker is back. He says, "What's up? What's up?"
Hey, excuse me.
No,
security.
Emily, no.
Hey,
Stop!
Whoa.
Let's fucking fight right now.
What?
Right.
Get away from
now.
Security.
Let's fight right now. Is what he's saying.
He's harassing us.
What's going on? What's going on, man? Right now. I'll kill you right now. I'll kill you right now.
So he actually does charge at them with the security guard. Like he's like, "I'm going to kill you right now." So it may be that the incel uprising has begun, and they're specifically targeting the rich female streamers that have denied them what they believe they deserve for so long. But luckily, security man was there.
Please.
Security.
I'm sorry. Like the juxtaposition of the cute "be right back" traveling pause screen with compared to the "I'm gonna fucking kill you" "be right back" traveling. It reminds me of the "Oops" Kent Brockman scene from The Simpsons when let me see if I can find that. Oops. Brockman Simpsons. Where can I see this? Does it not have it? I thought I'd find this straight away. Oh well, I didn't find it, but this is slightly better anyway. I for one welcome our new insect overlords. That's a pretty good one too. Not what I was looking for, but so there you go. They had to cancel their streamathon. The three ladies and yeah, it looks like the gamers, the incels, the Asians are rising up, and they've had enough, and they want to take back their tier 3 subscriptions from these women that have too much money, obviously. 200 Studio says the robbery is probably CYA, so she can say she has none now. What does CYA mean? Like the trick to like say that she doesn't have any money, any of the Bitcoin now. There was one thing that I actually kind of noticed about this phone call as well. There's a couple details that are kind of strange in this police phone call that lead me to doubt it, but it may be just how it was reported to the police officer as they made this dispatch call. The first part is the husband reports that the wife is being held at gunpoint. So the first little detail that makes me wonder is, why is the husband not at the wife's house? Of course, travel trips happen. Maybe they live apart. It's a weird thing, though. It's a weird detail in the story. It doesn't invalidate the story, but it does make me question the authenticity a little bit. The second point is they mentioned the cryptocurrency. I'm not sure why we would say that around here. I would think they would just say it's an armed robbery or home invasion. Then they've got the detail about the underwear and the ballistic vest. It seems very strange, but again, if this person is psycho, it's not outside the bounds of belief. So we'll have to check out and follow up, and I'll be checking throughout the stream to see if there is any updates on her from that, because it happened about 7 hours ago at this time now, actually, now that I look at the tweets of thing. So if some hard evidence, like a police report or some hospital photos or something shows up by the end of the stream, we can check about those. But until now, whoa, buddy. Like, that's just the pinned post, okay? That's just the pinned post on her account. It's not the picture that I was looking at. It's the first thing, okay? It's a grift. She actually refers to it as a grift. Anyway. I'm going to hide those other tabs now so you guys can't see them. All right, we'll move into... Do we do Sean next? Or do we go into the... I think the Destiny Sean stuff we'll finish up on. I think we'll go back to this. So we'll go to, because this next segment's not going to be very long. Okay. So we have Johnny Somali 3.0. This is a man called Black Ass Dave, and he's arrived in Japan. He's arrived in Japan following Ice Poseidon's crew, as many of these nuisance streamers are doing. Is Ice Poseidon kind of attracts them? He claims he doesn't do anything wrong, and I guess he's technically correct in that, but he's obviously incentivizing these people to come and cause drama on his stream because it's better for his viewership, and they leech on and try and get some attention and hopefully build their own careers up. Now, I believe all three of them, Johnny Somali 1, 2, and 3, had their accounts banned on Twitch, but I believe as of this stream, because I checked earlier in the day, it was deleted. It seems that Black Ass Dave has his Kick account back. But I found a few choice clips, so let's take a look. Let's see what sort of content Black Ass Dave gets up to in Japan.
Take your fucking little back. Take your little back.
This is first of all, if you're filming in a fucking urinal, you should be strung up. I mean, yeah.
Bathroom shit, nigga. Take a little bathroom.
You can see there he's got the looks like the Fanta shoe high. That's not quite a strong 0, but it is like a 7 or perhaps even 9% alcohol drink.
Shit, puss.
I'm not sure who this guy is though, but he's taking a piss obviously.
Bitch ass nigga. I'm tired of this nigga. I'm about to slap this nigga, bro. Straight up. Nigga, little chin ass nigga. Niggas got little chin-chins. Shut up, bro. You got a little chin, bro. I got a big ass dick. I don't talk to little dick.
So, like, first of all, imagine you're this and so they're outside the Marunouchi building, I believe, which is in Tokyo. It's basically the largest station. Well, not the largest station, but it's near Tokyo Station, I believe, is where they are. So you've got this black guy who's causing a ruckus. He's being noisy. He's throwing beer cans. And he's talking about the big chin-chins and the small chin-chins, which is penis in Japanese. And then this guy, who's obviously just an office worker, he's like, I really need to take a fucking piss. Walks the door, he's like, oh no. Oh yeah, he thinks he's really tough. He does think he's really tough.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Stop, Dave. Fuck, you're going to jail.
And this is at 2 a.m. This is at 2 a.m.
I'm about to turn off chat, bro. You guys are so SJW right now. You got big chin-chin, you got little chin-chin, Dan IRL.
If you like, this should be grounds for arrest. If you come up to a guy at the urinal, look, if there's like, first of all, if you're at a urinal and there's like 3 urinals, there's only 2 here, so it's fine. But if like, let's say there's 2 urinals and you take the one next to him, that should be a criminal offense anyway. But having a camera inside a fucking bathroom streaming while this guy's just wants to take a fucking piss, this is some rank behavior. Leave this shit in America. Fuck off. I honestly hope this guy does get arrested.
My man right here got big, you got little.
This guy's just like, well, like, what if he's a nervous fucking pisser, man? You got some guy behind you breathing down your neck. He's like, shit, chin this, chin that. Like,
no, dead ass Dan. I'm sorry.
Didn't wash his hands. Touching your friend on the shoulder. That's another criminal. That's another 5 years in the slammer. Fuck off.
I know you're taking a piss right now. Take your fucking little back.
And then just feral behavior. Like, people have to clean this up, you know, like just, oh, let's just throw these like, no, someone has to fucking clean up your stupid behavior.
Take your little bathroom shit, nigga.
All right, so that's the first clip I have of Black Ass Dave. Black Ass Dave doesn't stop. He's on the streets in Tokyo. This is probably 2 hours prior because it's like 12 a.m. He goes into a convenience store. Let's check this out.
I got a hose. I'm gonna get a strong 0 right now.
He's gonna go get a strong 0. Now I know from experience that bad things will follow after that.
Big Chin Chin Mafia. Big Chin Chin boys. That's a girl? Bro, if that's a girl, I want her. Is that a girl? Hello? Are you a girl? Oh, nah, I want you. What's up, baby?
This is like gonna destroy race relations for the next 20 years. These Japanese people are never going to America now.
You got a fat old ass. No. Fuck all that extra shit. I want you, baby. Look at that ass, bro.
Like, this actually should be an arrestable offense in Japan. There is actually a nuisance and harassment laws in Japan. Like, you can't film people in public in Japan without their permission. And specifically, there is actually a law that is designed for men that are filming women, and he's clearly chasing her around the thing, being an absolute cunt.
I want that, bro. She thick as hell, bro. I like thick Johns, bro. No. Fuck all that extra shit. Let me get your number. Bro.
So I have some more, actually. I have some more. Juju with 5 says the robbery is oh, sorry, I read that one. Sorry. Sorry. John Gordon says, is this Assassin's Creed Shadow? Well, no, because this is actually happening. Assassin's Creed Shadow is fictional. This is very real. We have another Black Ass Dave clip around here, I believe. Oh, we got another fun one. I forgot about one then as well. Okay, so like posted by Cholesterol says black streamer buying fried chicken in Japan gets irate at convenience store worker. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says.
I don't know English.
Why are you disrespecting me now?
Huh? So the guy says he doesn't know English. He's just doing his job. And this is the same. I assume this is the same convenience store because it's the same time, like around where he was harassing that chick. It's 12:41 a.m. 42 a.m.
Why are you disrespecting me?
I don't know English.
Alright, let me pay for this shit. Cause I'm about to slap you, bro. Dead ass. I'm about to slap the shit out of you.
This guy's just thinking, oh, fuck with my wife. Fuck with my wife. They said American would be good for Japan. And then he's just doing, this is a minimum wage job, okay? This is just Mr. Kiyohara. Mr. Kiyohara here on his name tag. And actually, there's a cool detail, not quite on this one, but so Family Mart has their name tags here. And as I said, this man's Mr. Kiyohara. They've actually allowed Family Mart employees to hide their names if they don't want the public to know who they are. Because, like, if you're a very attractive Family Mart worker, you may get guys start stalking you. So at my local Family Mart, not because of me going there, but the woman that works there, she has like little teddy bears over her name tag, and all the other workers just call her like Teddy Bear San or something. It's kind of cute. It's a little detail of Family Mart you might not have known. Excuma, member for 24 months. That's 2 years. Holy shit. It says bump. Sorry, Hope he bumps into some Yakuza doing this shit. Look, this is the worst time to come to Japan and start making nuisance because the Japanese people are pissed. And we're going to see one more clip from Ice Poseidon suffering in Kagoshima next to show you what's happening here. But we'll continue this one.
God. I'm about to slap fire out you, my nigga. I'm gonna fuck no more. Fuck all this shit.
That noise keeps playing whenever he gets a follow. So he's like, do you want to put them together in the bag?
Yeah, put it in there, bro. Put it in there, bro. I gotta take a.
So he's putting the fammy chicken in the bag. He's working his minimum wage job, and then he has to deal with this fucking asshole.
You got a bathroom in here? Bathroom? No. Fuck.
Yeah, not for Dave. Not for Dave. No bathroom from Dave. Now there was some other clips of Dave, I believe, but they're kind of all the same. Like that's his shtick. Is he's an angry black man causing trouble. And the idea is you watch it because you want to see drama and him like pulling up and confronting people on stream. Now, the clip, I had one more clip of him, but it's not really worth saying, to be honest. Basically, there was another guy. I think it was the slightly homeless guy. I'm not sure. It may have been the guy in the urinal. I'm not sure if they're the same person. I can't tell them apart. But basically, Black Ass Dave was saying, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to beat your ass. And then the guy starts tickling him. And like, not Dave tickling that guy, but Dave got tickled and he didn't do anything. So he's just a big bag of hot air, has no actual threat behind him. He's just like, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to be noisy. I'm going to be noisy. And doesn't actually do anything. So he never does anything. He's a pussy. And he had to beg for forgiveness. Oh, so sad because his kick account got deleted. So you see Black Ass Dave. He says, oh, I deeply apologize for my behavior on stream last night. I was severely sleep deprived and did not in the right state of mind. I love Japan, the culture and the people. I had no plan to cause a problem. I truly apologize. So unfortunately, his apology tour has begun, and apparently it was effective, and the kick reinstated his channel temporarily. I don't expect too much to come of him, but hopefully he does get arrested if he keeps doing this shit. And very, very disappointing to see. And I think this guy's actually probably worse. Like, I think this guy would be worse than Johnny Somali, honestly, because Johnny Somali's did cause a lot of problems, but he didn't really follow random women around or like film in urinals and like pull up on guys taking pisses and stuff. So Johnny Somali got arrested and held in Japan for 2 months just for being noisy in a restaurant. What's going to happen to this guy? I hope the worst, because one of these people need to have an example made out of them. Billy Oka with 2 says, where do I contribute to the bounty fund? Well, I'll be keeping an eye on him. Now, there was a very funny one. The repercussions have begun for the live stream Nuisance Streamers. So this is from, well, it's posted on Cancel Johnny's, which is it's a Twitter account that follows nuisance streamers in Japan, which are called Meiwaku Gaikokujin, like nuisance foreigners, or Meiwaku Haishinsha, like nuisance streamer. Now, they were in Kagoshima, which is a beautiful place in Japan. I love Kagoshima. You actually do see Sakurajima in the background in this video, which is an active volcano that is at the very bottom. It's basically the bottom of the mainland. It's like, not really the mainland, it's like, but the big part of Japan. It's in Kyushu, and from Yakushima, you can take, from Kagoshima, you can take a ferry to Yakushima, which I mentioned a bit last time we were playing the dinosaur stream, about the beautiful magical island with flying fish, turtles, and the Mononoke forest and everything. It's very, very beautiful. Was the inspiration for the movie Princess Mononoke. Now, I believe they were trying to take a ferry to Okinawa, which is, I believe, where they are now as well. So let's see what happened when they tried to board the ferry.
Hello.
Yeah, we are from Japan Coast Guard.
Okay.
And I'm a director of Coast Guard and Rescue Department from the Kagoshima Coast Guard office.
Okay.
And unfortunately, even though you have already bought this ferry ticket, you cannot get on this ferry today.
Okay.
Because the ferry owner decided that they refused.
I like that Ice Poseidon's heartbeat is going up. I think most people can understand this guy, but if you can't, because his English is not the greatest. This is the leader of the Coast Guard in Kagoshima, and they've come to remove them from the ferry after they've paid for their tickets because the ferry owner refuses to serve these noisy nuisance streamers. So they're being deprived of services, as they very well should be.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we get a refund?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but they get a refund. That's nice. Now, if I was in this position, I would say no refunds.
Okay. So we're getting off the boat.
Yeah, please.
Sure. Why?
Because they acknowledge that you have already done a lot of troublesome activities in Japan in
Like
a lot
what?
of places.
Like
I like it that they're so audacious. They're like, "What did we do? Well, I didn't do anything. I thought this was America. What do you mean?" It's like, just stop. Just stop. We didn't do anything. What do you mean? No, you know what you did. Don't pretend. This is such a stupid thing to say. Just accept it and leave the ferry without causing any more trouble.
what?
Like in Shinkansen and in...
So viewer say fake stuff.
All right, so like Ice Poseidon tries to claim that a viewer rang up the ferry department and said, "Look, these guys are troublemakers, and they're making all these lies up about him and stuff." You know, so he tries to pretend and sell to his viewers he did a good boy that didn't do nothing. And it is cut out from this clip, but he specifically talks about causing a nuisance on the Shinkansen, which Ice Poseidon absolutely did do. They've been going around Japan, all around Japan, and they've been taking the bullet train, the Shinkansen, and multiple times they'll they won't pay for seats, or they'll get on the free seating and then use the green car. In fact, one of the streams that I did see from when Ice was traveling down from, I want to say it was, where was it? It was from, I think, Aomori or Sendai, going down to Yokohama. They did have tickets for the Shinkansen, but they weren't sitting in their own seats. So they were actually breaking the rules of the Shinkansen there, and just also being various noisy drinking. You can drink on the Shinkansen as long as you're well behaved, by the way. You're allowed to drink on trains in Japan, which is very fun. But they're obviously causing problems. They're in the hallways. They're yelling. They're being noisy. They're making, they're doing stupid shit for chat. They absolutely are causing a nuisance for everyone else involved on that trip.
Call.
But you have distributed your live action, right? In now.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we're live.
And many people have watched your troublesome activities.
No troubles.
Yeah, according to the ferry owner.
Yeah, he got lied to.
Right. I mean, there's not even an argument here. They are causing trouble. Ice Poseidon, apart from gambling in Japan, has not committed any nationwide crimes as I understand it so far. He has done destruction of property. He has done theft of various items, small inconsequential items. So I'm not even going to bother mentioning them. But technically that is breaking the law. So they have broken the law actually multiple times. But they're fairly minor things that I wouldn't really be worried too much about. Like one of them is gambling. Online gambling, technically illegal in Japan. He's been doing it daily on his Kick stream. But it's that's like a victimless crime, so I don't give a shit about that. And it's not really annoying anyone else. So again, the letter of the law, he is breaking the law. But a lot of the things that he's doing are like kind of things that I don't care too much about. I'm more worried about the disturbances and the nuisancing, and specifically bringing more people like Black Ass Dave to Japan to cause trouble so that he can hype up his own stream and reap the benefits from those people.
Somebody call.
Wouldn't we be in jail if we did something?
Yeah, we would be. Yeah, no troublesome activities.
So we didn't break. I mean, we'll leave.
But unfortunately, today they already decided to refuse your
request denied.
voting, and they can refund.
Yeah, that's fine.
So sorry for that.
So Bob Tube said I wasn't gonna bother mentioning it, but yeah, he did take an orange off a tree, which is stealing, but I don't give a shit, and I think the owner probably didn't really give a shit either. But that's not the worst thing that he's done. Even in that, I think much more than that is the destruction of property with the punching the rental car wind stream and breaking it. And you might think, well, they paid for it; it's not a big deal. Not quite the case, depending on how they actually reported this, because every traffic accident in Japan needs to be reported to the police, and the police actually have to go and investigate it, no matter how minor it is. So, for example, if you're driving a car in Japan and you scrape the sidewalk, you have to report that to police, and if you do not report that to police, they get very, very, very angry with you. It's a minor thing, but it's just like it's like primarily what the police do in Japan, because there isn't that much crime. At least, there's a lot of crime, but it's not really reported and stuff. And mostly it's financial and stuff like that. But the cops have to go out there and check it. And this happened to a friend of mine, is that they were driving around and they scraped like a power pole. And then they didn't tell anyone for like a month. And eventually someone found out. They're like, whoa, your car's been damaged. What happened? And they said, oh, no, it was no big deal. I scraped a power pole. It actually caused a massive problem and a headache for everyone involved in both her co-workers and the local police, because they had to go out there, like 3 to 4 policemen had to go out there and report it and take pictures and everything. And this happens all the time. There was actually a Tesla outside my house the other day that crashed, and I saw the cops there like standing around doing everything. So when Ice Poseidon punched the windshield of that car, if they reported that, if they said like, well, maybe they just paid and said, look, we got angry, I punched the screen, here's the money for it, that's maybe okay. The insurance will cover that. But if they said, oh, a rock flew up or we bumped into somebody and we don't know what happened, that would have been reported to the police, and that's going to waste a lot of people's time. And again, even if you're just renting something, it doesn't give you permission to just break people's shit. So I would think that is probably the most egregious thing that I've seen Ice do in particular, is punching that window. But apart from that, obviously, I'm very unhappy with his encouraging other live nuisance streamers to come to Japan and cause troubles. Jen Lemons with a $10 says, I was a student in Tokyo when I was 16, and my friends, American teachers, and I were more respectful than these assholes. This behavior embarrassed me. I mean, I think it's embarrassing to everyone that sees it, right? No one really looks at this and says like, oh, well, I can't wait to do that. Except for like these losers like Black Ass Dave.
Okay. Yeah, please get off the boat.
Okay.
Get off. Get off.
Well,
this way.
Well, can we get our stuff?
This way. And please call your friends, old friends.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Okay, there's a lot of us.
Maybe nine people, right?
Yeah. I'm going to grab my bags.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Look how smug this guy is. I know. Wait, this is one of them. He's with them. He's with them actually. He's a live streaming camera guy. Is this the guy that hooks them up with all the stuff in tech in Japan? It is a very smug face though.
I understand.
Okay, did you tell them that it's fake? Like,
yeah, they said because of things on YouTube and whatnot, we're not going to win this battle.
Yeah. This guy probably lives in Japan because he understands. There's some very subtle cues and some very obvious clues that tell you that things aren't going to happen in Japan. Like if you ever hear someone saying, it's a no, it's a big no in Japan. But of course, when the Coast Guard shows up, you know that shit hits the fan, and he knows it's not even worth explaining. It's not even worth explaining. This is actually kind of a cool shirt. It's got like little hamsters and little sushi rolls on it. I actually kind of like that shirt.
We're not going to win.
I mean, I would never wear it, but you know.
No, I know. I just want you guys to know that we haven't done anything wrong.
They're just not true. Just not true.
It's just... Oh, okay.
Being held in Thailand.
All right. Oh, they didn't play the. Oh, no, they did. Sorry. This is just a this is a clip of when they were held in Thailand, and I don't know what happened to this guy. Did this guy just die in Thailand or something? Like I've never seen. He never was shown again.
In Bangkok, Thailand.
So there you can see the military vessels. Sorry, not vessels. The military vehicles. And
Bro, they brought out the Coast Guard.
There's just one detail I want to show you.
They got
here.
fucking. What the fuck they brought out here, man? They got the fucking military up in here, bro. They brought out the fucking military for us, dude. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, can you not see? Oh, the clip was short. Shit. I wanted to show you Sakurajima. Maybe it's in a different clip. Hold on. I don't know. Well, I was just going to show you Kagoshima. In fact, maybe I could show you my own picture of Kagoshima. Because it is a very, very beautiful country. Very beautiful part of the country. Sakurajima is just off to the south. I've been to this ferry port before. Let me have a quick look and see if I can find it. It won't be too much. It won't be too long. But it is a very, very beautiful place. Like Kagoshima is famous for its delicious ramen and black beef of Kyushu, and it is the gateway to Sakurajima, an active volcano. And I go down there. I've been down there 3 or 4 times, and every time I go down there, it's very fun. So if you ever get the chance, I definitely recommend it. All right, let's see if I've found my photos here. I'm just going to scroll through them real quick to see if I can find you a couple pictures, just because it's a little bit of a fun little detail, right? And then we'll go on to the Sean versus Destiny stuff, which is kind of what I'm more interested in, because that's like an ongoing story. Yeah, this week there's quite a few plans for streams, actually. Should be at least 4, maybe 5. We'll see. Maybe on the weekend we can do another dinosaur stream, but there won't be regular weekday dinosaur streams. As much as I enjoy that game, and I think the people that enjoy it really enjoy it too. I can't find one offhand very quickly. That's unfortunate. Unless, let me just quick sort this by. Oh wait, actually here we go. I do have some photos. This is not necessarily Kagoshima. Oh no, here's Kagoshima. It's not my good picture of Kagoshima though. But here you go. This is off the side from the port. I'll just bring this over here. So there's a Sakurajima. So this is the ferry. This is where the ferry terminal is. This is from summer, and this is an active volcano. So the port that Ice Poseidon was pulled off from is off from this side, and this is Sakurajima, and this is just this volcano that is just constantly erupting in Japan. So if you go down to Kagoshima, sometimes just shit is covered in ash, and they're always like brushing it away. You can take a ferry from this terminal for 100 yen all the way across the bay, and it's a beautiful ferry ride. And you can explore the island. You can get buried in hot sand. You can go to hot springs. You can go look in the national park and everything. It's a glorious place to go. And you can also take a ferry from here. Unfortunately, unless you're Ice Poseidon, he can't take a ferry from there. But if you're not Ice Poseidon, you can take a ferry to Yakushima, which is the inspiration for the movie Princess Mononoke. And they have a really cool thing here that I mentioned last night. And that is, it's kind of hard to see. It's not a great photo. But this is a giant tree stump that can fit 10 people inside it. And inside there's a little shrine. And this is called the Wilson Stump. And if you Google this, you can find it yourself as well. But if you look up through, look how it's covered in moss. That's one of the things. The forest is so cool here. If you look up at the right angle, it looks like a big heart shape. And they call it the heart of the forest. So it's a very, very cool place to visit. And these are all Japanese cedar trees, which are very... There's like hobbit holes and stuff there as well, actually, now that I'm looking through these old photos. Oh shit, where'd that go? Where did it disappear to? It's like loading, but it's not. Oh no, sorry, it's on screen there. See, I found this little hobbit hole, little cave on the island. And they have like these things called 2nd and 3rd generation cedar trees, where they cut down the tree, but then it starts growing again through the old tree stump. And there's actually a tree there that is over... There's a tree there that's over 7,000 years old, allegedly, but no one can know for sure. This is one of the cool things. It's got like, you see when you're walking through the forest, there's all these like faces that look like in the forest. Like this one looks like to me, it looks like a shrimp, but people say it looks like a boar. And this is the Mononoke forest on the hike to going to see the Jomon Sugi, which is the Jomon period tree. And basically you follow this beautiful little mountain trail on this old mining rail through this forest. And I went hiking there. And I actually did a lot of astrophotography while I was there too. So not the best photo again, because my camera's not perfect or anything, but I got some nice photos of the Milky Way while I was camping here. And I had a great time. Sorry. I'll try and stop talking about my own things in a second. I just happened to find the photos just at the last moment. And I was like, oh, you know what? We'll just show them. Why not? Maybe one more. This is, they believe, yeah, this is just one of the mountain rivers that you find along the trail. So if you're interested in coming to Japan and not causing problems, then definitely go to Yakushima and, use the ferry and have a great time. All right. So that brings us to the Destiny stuff. Hey, if you want to see more of my Kagoshima adventures, message me on Twitter and I can send you an actual video of when I went to Yakushima. right, so this is Destiny, aka Sex Pestiny, Epstiny, Diddy-stiny. If you're unaware, there was a video called The Content Nuke on Destiny, which I'm going to reference tonight's stream as well, just one part of it here, by Ryan Beard. And it's got about 600,000 views at this point, and it was from January 31st. Basically, what happened is Destiny has been revealed as he was basically giving sex for favors. So people would send him nudes. He would suck cock. He would bang chicks. He was doing everything. His destiny was to get every hole was a goal, even though it was a woman's name. And it got exposed. It got exposed that he was both trading sex for attention and clout, and he was bringing people into the streaming career and setting up their careers and stuff. But not only that, he was secretly recording people. He was recording them and then sharing those recordings with other people in an effort to lure more people into his Epstein Island, basically. And there's a woman named Pixie who is currently in the process of suing him. And a lot of people will thought that this lawsuit might not appear because, maybe it'd be like Keffels, where you take the money and run to Ireland and just spend it all. It seems like Pixie's going through with it. And Destiny has been engaging in a lot of self-incrimination during this time. He's taken the Ricada model of saying, I'm not going to talk about it, and he says everything about it. Very sad for him. Now, he doesn't like Sean, potentially criminal, as he actually brings up the old Sean on Chud Logic, I believe, stream. But we're going to hear what Destiny's cope about this is, and I've got some context I want to add to this. But that's kind of the background that you need to know. So we'll. I think I was watching this on 1.25 speed. I put it down to normal speed because if you listen to Destiny on 1.25 speed, it's a little bit. He sounds a little bit like a gnome. All right.
I've talked about this a lot in the media when it comes to like conservatives and Democrats.
This is his normal talking speed.
That there's like two different standards of rules that the different sides play by, and it's like an unwinnable media environment, which I'm kind of used to, I guess, dealing with myself. Although it's more annoying being like out of the drama circles, but still getting dragged back into it. Because...
All right. First point. Destiny has no right to complain about drama circles. He made his career off of drama circles and making dossiers and manifestos about other people to cause drama. So drama's great when you get to benefit from it, right? Everyone loves drama until the drama's about them. And he's going to go on and talk about slagging kiwi farms a bit. He loved kiwi farms until they started talking about him. Isn't that always the way? But like, oh, they're dragging me into the drama. That's just cope. That's just cope from people that like they want to have their cake and eat it. Destiny benefits from the cope. He benefits from the drama. He talks about the drama. Streaming for like 8 hours a day. Like, what do they talk about? Just politics and drama all day, every day. So like, oh, I'm being dragged into the drama. No, fuck off. You are the drama.
The vulture communities and shit.
Vulture communities. Now, this is a man that'll go on to talk about how maybe he won't go on to talk about it, but he has exposed how he's been preying on young, vulnerable women. In his own words, because Destiny, in the content nuke that we watched of him last time, well, not last time, but a few times ago, Destiny talked about how he thinks it's inappropriate for someone with a disproportionate amount of power like himself in the streaming community to be around these less powerful people, specifically women, because he can have the ability to take advantage of them. And he went on to, like, this is actually a fucking wild video. If you've not seen Ryan Beard, Destiny's content nuke, this is actually a fantastic video and much better, I think, than the one that H3 made about Hassan. But it's like an hour 30 minutes. We went through it in a previous stream. It's really good, and it's incredibly damning, and it makes Destiny look like an actual monster, like Epstein tier, basically. They talk about how Destiny was making fun of this kid when they was like showing his like a literal 8-year-old showing his cock on stream on Twitch. It talks about how he knew about minors being taken advantage of in MLG gaming when he was a gamer, professional gamer for StarCraft, and he didn't tell anyone about it because he didn't want to hurt his career. It talks about how he thinks that the power disparities should never be abused. He goes on to abuse it. He goes on and breaks every rule that he ever said that he set for himself. He's just a disgusting individual, and he's very upset now because people are finally calling him out on his shit. And it's kind of outrageous just how out in the open this was, and he thought he would never catch any flack for it. He thought he'd never get any drama. He thought he'd never get anything from it. Well, unfortunately, the chickens have come home to roost, and I think Sean has explained this as basically Destiny to get out his pocketbook, start writing down zeros, and when Pixie tells him to stop, that's when he stops, because she's going to take him to the fucking cleaners if he doesn't get taken to fucking Guantanamo for his crimes against humanity.
There's no real way to like counter this. So I just have to like, I guess like make people aware of it to call it out, and because it triggers the other side when I bring it up, although I'll insist that it doesn't.
I mean, if you tell people, if you just say that the other side's triggered when you talk about it, yeah, okay, sure, okay, bro.
Part of their narrative. One of the kind of annoying, one of the annoying realities, I guess, that exists right now is that I don't know how many people are aware about it. I usually try not to talk about this website because the people here are unwell. But there's a website called Kiwi Farms.
All right. This is the first of many very, very cope statements to make. Hold on. Why the fuck isn't this working? I need to verify that it's... What the fuck? YouTube's being gay. YouTube, why are you being gay? So he says... Let's play. I'll try and figure this... I'll try and sort this all out. Basically, my chat's broken because I have to re-sign into YouTube. I need to verify my identity. All right, we'll go back a couple seconds.
I usually try not to talk about this website because the people here are unwell.
All right, usually not try to talk about this website. Let's take a look at the actual facts. What happened in the Ryan Beard documentary? Destiny says, well, this is the first part of his story. I wish this person would just off themselves already and fuck off from my shit forever. And then he goes on to say this.
Lav was in the hospital. Destiny sent to his public chat, like, I wish this person would just kill themselves already or fuck off from my shit forever. Destiny even one time shared with his public chat that there was a Kiwi Farms thread being made about Lav. In case you don't know, Kiwi Farms is a mess.
So he's like, I don't like to mention this website, except he literally sent his audience to go to Kiwi Farms to get dirt on a person he didn't like, so that he could cause him more drama and hopefully delete themselves. That's why I like this. This video by Ryan Beard is very good.
Message board that is famous for doxing and harassing people they don't like.
So, I just want to say that, like, Kiwi Farms is famous for doxing people. Technically, the rules of Kiwi Farms is do not harass people. You're not supposed to touch the cow. Now, of course, in any website, there's going to be good and bad actors. And obviously, people do go to Kiwi Farms to get information about people they want to harass. But Kiwi Farms is basically a phone book with a gossip channel. That's what all it is. If you are caught interacting or doxing people or using, like, actually, not doxing, sorry, but swatting people or harassing them, you get banned. That's the rules. Okay? But they just have information that's typically publicly available. A lot of people put a lot of information online that they shouldn't, and you can't really get angry when people start collecting it and collating at one place. It's just natural occurrence of becoming a popular topic of discussion. So Destiny, he's actually a big fan of the Kiwi Farms until recently. I got the chat working again.
There's a website called Kiwi Farms that generally is supposed to just be like we talk about or obsess over people that we deem worthy of obsession.
Well, lolcows, like people that are considered lolcows. They like to gossip and laugh and sometimes make up theories about people. And the funny thing is sometimes the outrageous theories come true. And it seems that recently it's more often than not, which is truly shocking.
Generally, they're not supposed to interfere too much with them. That used to be the old rules, but...
I believe that's the current rule. I don't have an account on the farms, but I do read it quite frequently.
For my life, I guess, Kiwi Farms has decided that they're like a full activist, like we're going to do every possible thing that we can to fuck with this person and all the people around him.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think that Kiwi Farms has decided to fuck with Destiny at all. In fact, I would say it's probably the opposite. But yeah, there's some actors on Kiwi Farms that are probably using that information to fuck with Destiny. Absolutely. Every group has good and bad people. Every group has people that don't follow the rules and people that do follow the rules, okay? But he likes to... What he's doing here is he's trying to push the blame for his revenge porn on Pixie and apparently 15 other women. He's trying to say, look, I may have fucked up, but I'm the real victim here. And those Kiwi farmers, they're the real evil. They're the real people we need to be focusing on. He's trying to push the blame onto somebody else. Is it going to be effective for him? Who knows? Destiny's fans are rabid. They call him the Daliban, I believe. And they're probably going to follow him no matter what. That's just the reality, that when you get to like one of these like Hassan or Destiny sizes, you can basically do whatever you want and people will still follow you and still trust you and still want to see your content. I mean, people still support Ricada after all the things that he done. They just want him to go. They just want him to talk about the Trump and guns again. They want to go back to the old days.
That's just what they do. Or at least in my thread, that's what they do. So ordinarily, it doesn't matter that much. The These are obviously unwell people, probably most of them living on like disability or something, stuck in their homes, don't really have anything to do besides watching streams all day.
Now, this is like an outrageous statement to make as well for two reasons. First of all, the only evidence of the Kiwi farmers that we have is when they showed up to Nick's hearings. And they were just normal people. In fact, the group that showed up was basically like, it looked like an ad for a community college. There were people that were well-dressed, of all races and ethnicities, and just normal people. And that's been my belief from the beginning, is that many normal people just enjoy looking at dumpster fires, and Destiny's life is a dumpster fire. And if it wasn't for the internet making him, it wasn't for Twitch making him rich, he would still be a carpet cleaner, which is where he began. The second part of that statement that's outrageous and insane to me is that he's saying that people that watch streams all day are losers, and that's his entire fan base. He's like, well, these people have enough time to watch my streams, therefore they are losers and shut-ins and disabled and autistic or something. What a thing to say when your entire career is based off streaming for like 8 hours a day or something. And the fact that his audience doesn't hear that and like say, wait, what a second, is truly boggling to me. I don't know why. I don't know how he can get away with it. He can't keep getting away with it.
But the frustrating thing, clip chimped? No. Kiwi Farms is not clip chimp. They have whole worlds of theories of like stuff that they will write, like, and opine on somebody, like pages and pages of theories of like psychoanalysis and everything.
Okay, well, there will be pages and pages of theories and fun discussion and stuff like that. Basically, every Kiwi Farms thread starts with a main page, which has verifiable information that is just true. If you go to Destiny's thread, there may be, I've never read his thread, but there's probably thousands of pages of people gossiping with one main page that just has facts about Destiny that's verifiable. And they post their sources. They show you how they found this information, things like that. And then when a big drama thing happens, like when Destiny leaked the nudes of this chick, and when his nudes got leaked of him sucking a cock, they get added to these threads, and sometimes they get added to the main page. And he's very upset now that they no longer have his back, or he can't use them as a free resource to attack his enemies, or basically just use it to harass these women that he's going after because they had the audacity to leave his orbit.
Just imagine what like Zoe does in Justicle's Discord times like 1 million people all on a thread, except also like half the people are the same person on different accounts talking to themselves because they like to do that, I guess.
I'm not sure where that statement comes from. I mean, I suppose it's possible, but that happens in like YouTube. It happens on Twitch and everything. It's a weird thing to say. I think he's just poisoning the well, honestly.
But the annoying thing is that every other community, I guess, has decided that they're going to now just do like straight readings from or straight borrowing of content from Kiwi Farms. So like, for instance, that Ryan Beard video.
Now I feel a little bit attacked here, okay? Look, people like it, okay? All right, yeah, sometimes we just load up a stream and we just read the farms, okay? You got me, okay? Called out. You got me.
It was basically just him reading through my Kiwi Farms thread, even though in other worlds, these people will be like, oh, they make trans people kill themselves, blah, 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 blah.
So again, if we go back to, that's one of the criticisms that people try to levy against the farms, is that they allege that the Kiwi Farms has killed several people. I don't think there's any evidence for that. The one that may have some actual validity to it is the Nia / what is the person's name? Nia Mew or something? I don't know. They were a video game modder or something. Apparently they did actually die in Japan. That came out like kind of recently. So the Kiwi Farms may have a body count of 1. But that the other people are just straight up no. That's just no. But again, he said like they say that the Kiwi Farms try to get people to kill themselves, except in Destiny's own words, when he talks about the Kiwi Farms, is he hopes people go and harass this person, Lav, whoever that is, on their Kiwi Farms. And he literally said that he just wishes that they would. So he's actually inciting his audience to try and use that information to harass and bully a person into a state of mind where they might just end themselves and stop being a problem for Destiny. So this is all projection. It's all projection just coming out of him. It's really quite insane.
So it's kind of it's an irritating and odd world where there's basically like a militant activist anti-Destiny group that already exists on top of the frustrating world where, since I don't map on cleanly to any political ideology, all the little political...
No, he's just a democratic socialist. He's a leftist, a radical leftist, I would say. He likes to pretend that he's not in any group because he wants to be special. He wants to be a special boy. But no, he's He campaigns for the Democrats. He had his election party where they had their war room while they watched Kamala lose, obviously. So he's just in the radical left.
Groups don't really like me either, which is fine. I don't care. But to have like Kiwi Farms to be like a doxing, swatting central that
they dox people, they don't swat people. If they are, that's against the rules. And I think that swatting is basically attempted murder, because police show up, they flashbang dogs, and if you're groggy, you try and reach for your wallet, they think you're grabbing a gun and they shoot you. It's a serious matter.
All these other content creators, so all the commentary community people, all of the lefties, all of
and yeah, Destiny did actually stream with Josh Moon before. Like, he was a big fan of the farms until they turned against him.
Everybody else has no problem and Gisticle and his server like borrowing from, is just very, very, very fucking annoying. But I mean, like, all you can do is deal with it. But like, regardless of I'm not going to run through like this whole thread because people are fucking insane, but just as an example of what I'm talking about, right? So Tom tweeted out something that had to do with asking a critical question of the other side that's been attacking me recently. And like, just for asking that question, like people on Kiwi Farms are like, has this guy ever been doxxed before? Genuine question. I know nothing about this guy. I know that he's Gisticle's lolcow, but I've always found him so boring. I've never seen any of his dramas. Like, if you even
I don't know who this person is, but like, this is just one person, a thread of, I assume, thousands of people. I think the Kiwi Farms actually went down with the registrations because too many people wanted to see Destiny sucking cock.
Say something polite about me. There are people on this thread who will, and they're open about it. They're like, this guy's near Destiny, I'm going to dox this guy. And they'll go through, and these people are like, again, probably living a disability, so they can sit there and can consume like dozens of hours of content.
I mean, again, to say that people that watch a live stream for multiple hours a day must have a disability seems incredibly short-sighted to me, because you live off the back of the people watching your own stream. You can't be complaining that like anyone that watches your stream is weird without like, it's a weird, am I wrong here? It seems like a weird statement to make that if you watch my stream, this is what Destiny's saying. If you watch my stream, you're a weirdo. I mean, he's correct, but I mean, how does his audience not notice this? I just don't understand.
Over a week, and they will try to piece together like every single thing in your life. Ordinarily, Kiwi Farms is Kiwi Farms. It is what it is. You can't really do.
I think like my idea of the average Kiwi farmer is that they enjoy puzzles. And sometimes finding out information about a person is a puzzle in its own right. And I know people like this. I know people that like to use small details to find big clues, and it's fun. It's like when you watch like a GeoGuessr stream or like, Rainbolt stream or something, where he's like, he sees one picture of a backyard and he pieces together the exact location. It's fun. Finding out that information is fun for people that enjoy those sort of like code cracking or mystery solving things. And like I said, I think most people that engage in this sort of content are probably pretty normal. They probably have like regular lives. They probably just enjoy looking at this train wreck. I know that because that's kind of why I like it. I like looking at train wrecks. And I like to think I'm a pretty normal guy, although I do play hours and hours of dinosaur games, so I guess you can make your own judgments about me.
You think about anti-fan communities like that, although I do see that Joshua finally privated my revenge porn that's hosted on there. Thank you. I'm glad that enough people bringing attention to your site finally encouraged you to do that. So
I think it was actually you have to register to see him sucking cock now. Fortunately, I have not seen this. Now Destiny's going to try and frame this as he's the victim after he sent revenge porn to, I believe, over a dozen women, and he self-incriminates so many times. It's so strange, and this is why he's angry at potentially criminal Sean, is because potentially criminal Sean was saying, "Hey, look, stop talking about your case, idiot." And Destiny was like, "You don't know me. You can't tell me what to do." But we'll see that later. I believe about halfway through this is when he starts reacting to Sean.
Good job. But it's also the reason why like you'll see a lot of moral outrage from people like that who will say, "Oh, this is the worst thing ever." Meanwhile, they're like,
moral outrage. Destiny literally talked about why you should not do the things that he did. It's all in the, we're not going to go back and revisit it, but it's all in this video. He talks about you should not abuse position of power. It's inappropriate in these situations. You shouldn't do this, this, and this. And then he goes and does this, this, and that. So he has no moral high ground to stand on. And but if his fans don't care, of course they don't care.
Every other post is like, where is that revenge porn at that I want to fucking download and jerk off to? Yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, somebody said this, like, there's a whole bunch of talking points. Again, I don't like to talk about this community too much because...
No, he does. He does when it benefits him. He doesn't like talking about them now because he's about to get fucking taken to the bank and bent over by Pixie and her legal team.
You give them attention, they thrive off of it. But there's a lot of talking points that like originate on there, and then you'll hear other people repeat it, and I instantly know, like, Justical gets a lot of info about me from Kiwi Farms. Or Ryan Beard in his video has like...
And yeah, like, that's a good point, actually, people bring up in the chat, is he's claiming that people that like, catalog information about his life or watch his stream are weird. He's the person that's engaging in these relationships and recording them on the down low. Like, one of the leaked, one of the things he's claiming as a victim for is because he recorded the audio of him sucking dick from inside his pants because he was obviously trying to secretly record it. Is that the behavior of a normal person? No, obviously not. So like, he likes to pretend he's a victim, but he produced all this stuff himself and he's just mad that it got out.
Has videos that are like watermarked by Kiwi Farms. So people just go there, they get all the information, and then through that, they're basically explicitly supporting like all of the doxing and swatting and everything that comes from Kiwi Farms, and then they go and they make mainstream videos about it. And then I'm like, here, like, if I call somebody...
So he's like basically talking about like the Turkey Tom type people. I mean, myself to a lesser degree, but I don't really make videos at the moment on this channel about that sort of stuff. But yeah, like going and reading Kiwi Farms and putting together videos like the Turkey Toms or Internet Historian or Sunny V2, those sort of people. He's saying like, you can't do that. But like, what they're doing is they're just looking at facts. Okay. If a fact comes from a source you don't like, I'm sorry, that doesn't change the reality of the fact. Now, if the things they're saying are not true about you, you could disprove them. But you can't, because you know you did these things. You're just grumpy that people are telling the truth about you. Because now your veneer has slipped and people know just how much of a piece of shit he is.
Like fat, I'm getting like canceled by my own community for it. I don't know what to do about that. There's nothing really I can do about that. I have, I guess now, so for instance, a Gisticle server, a server that is the origination of a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of revenge porn, a lot of rapey people, a lot of like creepy, weird, like horrible people. That if you ask Justical at some points in history, he will agree with, and then at other points in history, he won't, depending on what's convenient for him at the moment. I've decided now that...
I'm not exactly sure who he's talking about in this point. I'm not down on the deepest lore on the Orbiters because I just don't follow any of this shit typically. Just this revenge porn stuff.
That I guess Kelly has decided that she wants to start targeting and harassing my girlfriend by calling her a whore or a cheap whore or a cheap whore.
Targeting and harassing. Like when you ask people in your community to go to Kiwi Farms and check out the thread yourself.
Destiny was the Harvey. Didn't think Destiny. Why women don't. One time when Lav was in the hospital, Destiny sent to his public chat, like, I wish this person would just kill themselves already or fuck off from my shit forever. Destiny even one time shared with his public chat that there was a Kiwi Farms thread being made about Lav. In case you don't...
There's also a clip where he literally just says on his stream, it's not just on his public chat, he says on his legit stream, look, there's a farm, if you guys want to read about her, it's on the Kiwi Farms, go check out Lav's thread on the Kiwi Farms. He names it, drops it on his live stream. And he giggles about it because he knows that she's going to get a bunch of shit from it. And look, maybe this stuff people talk about Lav is true. Maybe I don't know anything about her. Maybe she's a locale too. But you are perfectly fine sending people there to the Kiwi Farms to go get ammunition to target your enemies. But now the cows have come back to roost.
For a cheap fat streamer or whatever other stuff. I don't know why. I don't know how that's the new thing, but just when you're seeing stuff like this, there's always be aware that like the goal is always isolation. It's isolation and narrative control when it comes to Kiwi Farms. So
I think isolation is when you tried to get women to remove themselves from their friends and family and isolate themselves in your orbit so you could get their feet pics for clout. That's isolation.
If they spam a certain narrative enough and then they link, and trust me, you can go through these threads and they're linking every single Reddit thread, like post here, post here, post here, post here, post here. So it's narrative control, and then it's how many people around this person can we harass or can we dox or swat or whatever. And like, that's just the goal for all of it. It's pretty cringe. It's pretty gross. I expect the behavior from Kiwi Farms. It is what it is. Like I said, community.
I mean, Destiny literally goes on Grindr to go look for cocks to suck. And then secretly records that and then posts it to other people so that he can try and get more cock to suck. Is that creepy and weird behavior? I mean, he does it to women too. He goes on all the apps, but he literally go for anything. And it's kind of weird because you'd think that like a man that has as much money as Destiny did would be more discerning, right? Like, can't he get like the high class hookers or something? I don't get it. Like even Boogie, when Boogie had money, he went for the high class hookers. He was going for those Arkansas 10s or whatever. But Destiny just goes on Grinder. Why?
Like that will always exist, but it's really gross when people like Gisticle, whose information I hope I can find soon, are like trying
Wait,
to.
He just said that he wants to get information on someone, like he wants to go to Kiwi Farms thread on this other guy, Logistical, I guess. Is that what he's talking about? I don't know.
To amplify or put a magnifying glass on info over there and then have it spread into the other world. That's just wild to me, but you know.
Oops,
it is what it is.
He said the line. He said the magic word. We did it. We did it, chat. He said the magic word.
There's also a weird schism in r/lonerbox where a lot of those KF points get repeated for some reason. The goal is always like, I guess if you want to be schizophrenic, it's like, if you want to be schizophrenic, it's like gang stalking, unironically though.
I think this is actual schizo. What he's becoming an actual schizo.
The goal is to just like find the separation points and then to just lean into those and push as hard as possible. So if there's something negative involving me in Lonerbox, then they'll focus on that. But you'll notice that like as soon as people kind of like drift out of my orbit, then they don't bother them anymore. So the goal is always like if you say anything nice or not unhinged about me, then they'll go crazy on you. So like Willie Mack has been the target for a while. Tom was a target because of that tweet. Gisticle used to be a target, but now he's cool because he's like an anti-fan. And that's just how that place works. So yeah. How do you see this ending? I mean, the way they usually is you just keep streaming, you keep on trudging along, and then usually they.
This is kind of good advice, though. You can just ignore you can ignore controversy and keep working, and typically it will blow over. But the only thing I think that's going to get blown over is Destiny's bank account, because I think Pixie is asking for something in the range of like $5 million, and I mean they've kind of got him dead to rights. He's on video admitting it. They have a proper cause of action. They have everything they need, and they also have a backing of, I believe, like, is it something like $60,000? And a lot of these lawyers are going to go to bat for contingency because they know that Destiny has millions of dollars to take. It really doesn't. It seems like there's no way to get out of this easily unless he just pays her a bunch of fucking money. And I would rather see this go to trial because it almost sounds like Destiny wants to go pro se, and that would be hilarious. I want to see him in the courtroom in his tiny suit, arguing with the judge. I want to see that. He considers himself like, because he's kind of considered like the biggest leftist debate bro there is. And there's like actually a Jubilee video you can watch where he's like debating like 25 conservatives at once sort of thing. Those videos are entertaining. It's actually a good format to just have like a circle of people that are just like yelling at you and you have to argue with all of them. It's kind of funny to watch. It's very entertaining. It's like almost like blood sports on the mainstream. So I would love to see him go to bat and try and argue his case in front of a judge. I think that would be hilarious. Now, I think Destiny has a skewed view of the legal system because he's been following all of these the legal cases that Trump has been bringing. People are bringing against Trump in wake of the elections, and of course, in the 4 years since the 2020 elections. So Destiny has read a lot of law cases, but he's read that from schizo lawyers that just want to say Orange Man bad, basically. That's his basis for all of his legal knowledge, is all of the Orange Man bad cases, which probably don't give you the best sample of what you can expect from lawyers.
They get bored and they fuck off. That's all you could ever do. But anything you can tell us about the actual legal part? So many people saying different things about what needs to be proven in court for you to be held liable. I can't really talk about, I shouldn't talk about like the actual claims at stake, other than like it's all bullshit. I've watched a lot of, there was some guy, what's his name? I don't know. There was some guy in a suit who's been doing things. Most of the legal analysis is just really, really, really bad. I don't know. Again, I don't know what it is about lawyers. It's like worse than like people that call themselves like soft, like I'm a full stack dev. It's like, what the fuck do you mean full stack dev? And it's like, well, I made a website once and on WordPress.
I don't understand this comparison because anyone can call themselves a full stack dev, but to be a lawyer, you need to go to law school.
And I know how to get information out of a database sometimes. Okay, very full stack. Like just like the most random shit. The lawyer people are the same thing. Some of the commentary is so bad. Like it's actual. The legal mindset guy. Yeah.
Oh no, he said the word. You got to say his real name, Destiny.
Legal mindset. Legal mindset. Legal Little dick suckers, more like it.
Although Destiny would know more about that than Andrew. But anyway, let's continue.
I don't know if these guys just don't do criminal law or if it's just lawyers in general are fucking retarded. I mean, they are some of the worst people that I've seen.
I mean, now I'll agree with some points here. Lawyers are terrible people, typically. And I think that the legal sphere is one of the most adversarial professions you can have. Most, I would say, basically all careers, negotiation, business dealings are like win-win negotiation, right? Like if I go to the Mitre 10 to pick up some tools and I see a sausage sizzle, which is what we call a barbecue where I'm from, and you buy a $2 sausage on the sausage sizzle, which is just like literally a sausage sizzle is just like you have a piece of bread, some grilled onions, a sausage, and then some ketchup or mustard or whatever. And then usually it's for like a good cause or donation. Bunnings, yeah, Bunnings, whatever, same thing, same difference. Mitre 10 is New Zealand, I guess Bunnings in Australia. That's a win-win negotiation because they get my $2 and I get a sausage. Okay, that's win-win. But lawyers, I think they've got one of the highest rates of win-lose negotiations in basically any profession, specifically the ones that go to trial. Obviously, a lot of lawyers go to law school and they just practice contracts, wills, like paperwork, working for a company, and things like that. But of the lawyers that go to court cases, 50% are always wrong in their legal arguments because that's just the way an adversarial system works. One of the lawyers is going to be right, one of them is going to be wrong, unless they settle or something. So yeah, I think you can kind of have a little bit of that's a little bit true that like there are a lot of lawyers that seem to be getting wrong takes because in many situations, specifically in court cases, in any given instance, it's 50% are going to be wrong.
They are some of the worst people that I've seen on the internet, just in terms of like.
I mean, some of the worst people on the internet, apart from Destiny, who, corrupts youth, hides people that are actually soliciting minors, abuses his power for sexual favors, shares illegal recordings. Apart from Destiny being the worst person on the internet, is the lawyers. They're the real bad people. Is the people that talk about the VTubers. Oh yes, they're the bad people. Okay, buddy. Aspen Fullable 2 says, do you get Bush's baked beans at the sausage sizzle? I don't. But I did see a very funny thing today where I can't share it, unfortunately, but it was like a little short video where it was a British couple. And it was like, honey, I'm home. And it's like, I got you pizza. It's like, oh, nice. What'd you get with the pizza? It's in the UK. And it's like, oh, we got pizza with baked beans where we put on fucking everything. And the guy's just crying. Very entertaining. Of course, they're probably not funny to describe it. Let's continue.
General knowledge, the answer, the real answer is that when you graduate school, you just won't remember everything from school, which is fair. Like if you graduate, or I should say,
I wonder if Destiny remembers anything about cleaning carpets, because he might have to go back to that after this court case. When is the stream from Stonies? I don't know. One day I'll have to meet up with Sean, and he can take me to his favorite sandwich shop.
I shouldn't say criminal. Well, no, because some of these things are supposedly criminal. When you graduate school, you don't remember every single individual thing from school, which is fine. But for some reason, every lawyer pretends that they do. Like, oh yeah, like I can give you the full breakdown on this, and it's like, what do you do for work? And it's like,
well, the law or YouTube is the one that you're complaining about, right? And they do YouTube. Plus, some of them do the law as well. And some of them don't do the law or stream, and they just talk. They just spend all day in Fat Pedo's chats, talking about a guy that he sorely misses.
Nothing even remotely related for decades on any of it. Yeah. Are you cooked? I'm already cooked. I am as done like weeks ago. I'm as done as I'm gonna get. Like that's it. Like that's everything else now is just
yeah. So Destiny has a lawyer friend, Pisco, and which is the worst possible last name you can get as like that's like when you play a game, you get random number generated, the worst name possible. Like I think if you're named Pisco, you got to re-roll and try again in the new game plus or whatever. But that was Destiny's lawyer friend, and he's been very sad recently. Though I saw some very sad clips of Pisco's like talking about Destiny. But what's shocking is I didn't realize how fat he was, which of course is it's his freedom to be that. But I was surprised. Sometimes I get really surprised when you see like a fat streamer because you only see the top of their head, so you don't realize how fat some of them are. Sounds like a urinal company. It does.
Annoying shit to deal with, but apparently that's not true, because if you ask all the lawyer people, apparently the FBI and the DOJ is about to come down on me and bring some.
I don't know about the FBI, but I think they've pretty much got Destiny dead to rights. The evidence exists. The revenge porn exists. The cause of action exists. You've damaged their careers, their emotional states. They have a claim. They have a claim, and the claim can only be solved with money. And you've admitted to doing these things. You've recorded yourself admitting to doing these things. It seems like a slam dunk, and I think a lot of lawyers would take this just to take this guy down, because this is the kind of case you can build your career off. Especially if you're like a female attorney and you want to show that you're hard on people that are like taking advantage of women and stuff like that. Like if you're a feminist lawyer, you'd be really into this one.
Crazy shit, I guess. Trump himself, the attorney general herself, is going to come and arrest.
I don't think any lawyer has said this though, right? Is he just making this up? I feel like this is just a made up story.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The lawyer Chet had on suggests you had no legal team at all. On what basis?
I believe the basis was that you have not had an attorney on record, which is filed with the courts immediately if it happens. So in the eyes of the court, you have no legal team. Now, maybe you talk to your bro Pisco about that, but I'm not sure that's the same thing.
Is he even a American lawyer, or? Wait, link me. Now I'm curious.
All right, this is where we
YouTube drama is basically Kiwi Farms and Left.
Friend of the show and enjoyer of models. If we get to 20 super chats this stream, I'll even send Sean a model. How about that? That's the mega goal for the stream.
Flash. Yeah, basically YouTube drama. It's just like a ton of like Zoomer socialist, commie, tanky, weird shit. Yeah. What do you mean by cooked? What can actually happen?
Well, your money can be taken away. That's probably what's going to happen. Probably on the sex offender register, and maybe actual criminal charges. We'll see.
Like the worst has happened. Like
no, it's just begun. The feltoning has just begun. I'm afraid, Destiny. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Just everything. Wait, I'm curious for a link for this Chud lawyer guy.
Can we call Sean Chud lawyer now? That's actually a better name than potentially Sean. Chud lawyer.
No, it's funny because we learned Destiny.
Coming up on Chud TV.
We're in full report mode regarding Justical and Smelly Gene. Listen, if you see people breaking rules on other Discord servers, you should absolutely report the fuck out of it, of course. I want to make Discord a better place. Wait, I'm just curious where he makes that.
So is a narc too.
I mean, I can't watch most of this because he's going to say crazy shit, and I probably can't. I don't want to comment on like claims specific to my, to the whatever bullshit is going to last forever. Dumb. What am I looking for?
Pacer filings, because that's the federal court stuff. I'll send you a link. I don't know if you've ever used it before. You can find the federal court.
See, he's so deprived of Adderall, he has to live at 1.5 speed. 1.2 I think 1.2 is fine because it doesn't make that much of a difference. Voices get a bit squeakier. 1.5 is like he's Adderall maxed out right now. That's why he always talks like that too.
Thing where everything that gets put, it's all done electronically. So the day it happens, it's up. We'll see if an attorney enters an appearance because he's got 21 days to respond from the 18th.
So just a fact of how the courts work. Of course, Sean is a practicing lawyer, unlike Destiny, who practiced at being a lawyer and couldn't even pass. Well, he couldn't even do the first bar test. I believe I saw a clip of that.
In between that time, if he retains counsel, they'll enter their appearances. So we'll know if he's got a legal team. We'll know what's going on.
All right, it's a pretty easy thing to understand. Destiny's legal team has to enter an appearance. They have not entered an appearance. Therefore, he does not have a legal team on record. Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
But right now, I'm assuming he's probably full of shit. I don't think he's got a legal team because I just can't imagine it at this point.
Yeah, because like a legal team would be telling him to shut the fuck up because he keeps talking about how he's actually a good boy, didn't do nothing. One of the defenses I've seen, which is coming out of the Destiny camp, maybe not from Destiny himself. No, actually, I think this was from Destiny himself. Was that because Pixie had shared nudes of herself previously, she's a slut, and therefore she could not be damaged by me sharing nudes of it. No, that's not how it works. Okay, if you have permissions to share nudes, that's not revenge porn. You do not have permission to share, and you did share them. So I'm sorry, but you can't go up to the judge and say, "Your Honor, she's a slag. She's a harlot. I should be free." It doesn't work. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
I mean, maybe that's not to say. I mean,
like, why couldn't we imagine that? What is his rationale for this?
Well, he said that there's no attorney on record. They have not entered an appearance. That's the rationale for it. Now, I think Destiny's getting lost in the weeds a bit here. I guess what he thinks the implication is that he's talked to legal professionals. They don't seem to be on his retainer or anything. I don't know. There's no evidence of it, at least. So maybe he's talked to a few bros and he's considering that his legal team. Not really the same thing. And this is like the difference between the colloquial definition and the actual professional legal definition, which is what Sean's talking about.
But I don't know. It
wouldn't be the first guy. I mean, to be fair, when Pixie said I'm going to get legal counsel, I thought, don't talk about it, be about it. Everybody says they're going to sue somebody, and clients are like, "Oh my god, they said they're going to sue me." I'm like, nothing you can do until they do it. So, right now, until they do it, they're just talking shit, and then some.
Is he not a real lawyer, or that's I don't know if that's not true that there's nothing you can do until somebody files a complaint against you. What a stupid fucking thing to say.
Well, no, you could go to Burger King before someone files against you, but that's not going to affect the lawsuit, right? Maybe you could talk about your options, but no, until they bring a complaint against you, you can't respond to the complaint, obviously.
Okay.
Sometimes they do, and then a lot of times they don't. And I kind of thought, honestly, I thought Pixie was going to pull a Keffels and just off into the wind with the money. Like, oh yeah, I guess I'll sue him, I'll get to it. And that never happened either. So, I mean, I think that's what a lot of people are expecting. I think that's what Destiny was hoping. And Pixie decided to, do what she thought was right. And I'm glad she did it, because this is, I can only imagine if there's 15 that have come forward, how many more are out there? How many more don't even realize it happened to them?
That number is, by the way, not even remotely close to what people think it is saying, but okay.
There's actually another clue to your little theory here, and that is that at one point Destiny says something like his legal team or lawyers didn't expect Pixie to file a lawsuit. I mean, is that a reasonable expectation from like a legal perspective, do you think, or was that a bit short-sighted?
I mean, before Sean says anything, I think when you start a GoFundMe, the expectation is that the lawsuit is coming. Obviously, we've seen with Keffels, he just fucked off and went to Ireland and got high or whatever, and then continued in their degeneracy and falling into irrelevance. But no, I think when I see like a GoFundMe, like help me fund a legal defense, my assumption is that the legal thing is coming.
I don't think it's wrong to think that that's impossible. But yeah, there's you're kind of stuck though until it happens. They said they're going to sue me. I mean, it's very much you get out you have to wait till they launch the attack. So there's a lot of times where it's just don't make things worse, and then if they attack you, then we'll respond. But there's not a whole lot you can do till she starts loosening arrows at you. Which I mean, ultimately that's really just the nature of it. It's she gets to throw the first punch.
Sure. Okay. This is something that Mario kind of briefly mentioned, because I actually spoke. Mario helped me out tremendously with something previously in regards to the DMCA thing, which I'm very appreciative of.
Yeah.
I don't know what Chud's talking about. It's not really relevant to the story, but maybe what happened is that Chud got a false DMCA claim. And when you get a DMCA claim, you have to respond to it with your information, and people don't want to give them their information. This happened with the Iron Mouse recently, but it's happened with numerous people, including Mr. Medica. But a lawyer can respond for you if they're representing you. So maybe that's what Sean is. Maybe that's what Chud is talking about right there.
But he sort of alluded to there maybe being some sort of free speech aspect, like the First Amendment thing. And I'm wondering, is that an interference with some of these statutes that are governing this revenge porn stuff? Or
so the federal statute and the state statute, they pretty much mirror each other. There could be some First Amendment concerns there, but for Destiny, let's wipe those off the map, because there's 5 counts. We'll get rid of count 1 and count 2 of the complaint. Fine. He intentionally inflicted emotional distress on a woman. He violated her privacy. What's the 5th one?
Just as a quick thing, anybody that is even uttering anything having to do with revenge porn related to me has absolutely no idea what they don't know anything about what the elements are of any of the underlying crimes that they're alleging. They don't know what.
I think that Sean, as a criminal defense lawyer, probably knows quite well. And it's, if you've been following the Nick news as well, it's kind of a similar case. So you can draw some parallels from that. And he's probably brushed up on the elements of that because he's been following the Aaron versus Kayla stuff.
Like malicious intent means. There's also 2 other terms if you're bored. Things called proximate harm and foreseeability are also like these people are just fucking clueless.
And I'll just point out that the even though it's called revenge porn, you don't have to do it for the purposes of revenge. If you share it without consent, that's revenge porn. Even if you're just trying to say that your boy didn't do too bad, did he? That would meet the definition of revenge porn. Even though Aaron clearly wasn't trying to get revenge on Kayla, maybe he was. Who knows? Nobody knows what goes on in the $2 Stoney's can brain of his.
Oh God, I can't. Like listening to retards talk about my legal cases is one of the most frustrating things. Holy shit, it's actually so retarded. I'm good. You know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, what did Sean say that was wrong though? Destiny did intentionally share that material without her consent. Did he want to hurt her? We don't know that. He has tried to hurt people in the past he doesn't like with private information, though.
Do I really want to watch this shit? I feel like I'm just going to get triggered.
Because Destiny really was. He was grooming these women. He was trying to get them into, like, do his thing. Like, and
now, when Sean says grooming, I don't think he means the colloquial meaning for grooming, like raising a child up, you know, when they're underage or something. I think what he means is that Destiny was grooming them to be in his group. I believe all the women that have come forward were at least 18 or 19. Although Destiny has said that he thinks that a person his age and a person in his position of power approaching these women is a sick thing for an individual to do, regardless of your own thoughts. But this is what Destiny has said. So Destiny is going against his own words. And these are all words that could come up in a court case to show that he knew what he was doing was wrong when he did it.
Bring them into his circle, and you know, he woos them, and then, you know,
like all of this stuff. These are all just like Kiwi Farms narratives that just get like perpetuated infinitely. It's just like the most cringy. Like, it's not like I have to be in these people's eyes. I have to be like a serial rapist, Harvey, whatever. Like, there has to be some way to explain something, because either they feel like I should be a virgin, or they're sad that their viewership sucks, or they're sad that nobody, you know, vibes on their content. Like, there has to be.
These are not arguments. Your Honor, he's irrelevant. He doesn't have as many viewers as me. That means his argument is invalid. Your Honor, the women are fat. They're slatternly, and they've got no viewers. These aren't arguments. You did the thing that is illegal, and she's, you know, bringing a cause of action against you, and you're gonna pay. You got to pay.
Like, some reason. There's got to be something to explain. It's like, that's the one we're going with. Like,
oh, I have this power and I have this access, and it all, like you said, there's a system to him doing this. It's a pattern. That he's not the first guy to ever do this with women, you know, or you know, whatever relationship people are in. It's not a brand new thing to him. So,
well, listen, I don't know how long you feel myself. This is difficult for me. I used to be a Destiny orbiter back in the day. Okay, so this is very tough for me.
Well, I know a long time ago, but like I said, I really respect you. I really respect how, you know.
What did Sean do now? Asked MLS. Sean gave an accurate description of what is happening in the case, and Destiny is very upset because he thinks he's too smart. Basically, Sean said that he doesn't think that Destiny has a legal team because there has been no notice of appearance of any lawyers in his case available on Pacer. Now, Destiny says that's ridiculous, and Sean doesn't know what he's talking about because he's fat and he's on Kiwi Farms. I really want to see Destiny go pro side. That'd be so entertaining.
Watching you over time. So.
One thing I will never make the mistake of ever again, and this includes basically every single streamer friend in my life, that I will never, ever go out of my way to provide charity for any of these people. Because I remember when like Chud Logic was getting dogpiled on some what were at the time like bullshit allegations or whatever. I think I was because I'm one of the only people who will come out if somebody's actually getting dogpiled and be like, this is some bullshit. And I came out for
No, Destiny. You're not the only person in the world who will take an unpopular opinion. Holy shit.
For Chud.
Oh my goodness, what a saint. No one online has ever taken an unpopular opinion. I'm not sure what the drama between Chud is, though. I'm not sure what Destiny came out to help him with. JonTron? What about JonTron? Well, JonTron won. JonTron is married. He's successful. He's got his YouTube career. He's living his best life. Destiny is suffering. He's lost his wife, 2 wives, I guess, to bony-armed soy boys in Sweden. JonTron won, and good for him. I like JonTron. He seems like a good guy.
Never, ever again will I waste my time doing anything like that.
Unless the person has tits or a beer can cock or something you can suck, right?
So, oh my God, it's so gross and crazy.
Because the thing is, when you say grooming, I have a resistance to that, and I have to think, okay, is this just some sort of latent DGG defense mode kicking in? But I think, I guess the thing is for me, is I always categorize grooming as in regards to more so children. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like the colloquial thing. I kind of mentioned that a couple minutes ago. But Yeah, I mean, Sean's not wrong to use this language. It is a little bit inflammatory, a little bit, but I think most people know what he's talking about.
You know, it's quite a strong word. But I think I can see what you mean. It's like there's a system at play, bringing people in, they come on stream, there's a sexual...
How is KF able to exist when it only exists to mass harass people? I mean, there's nothing illegal about harassing people.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Wait, what? There's nothing legal about harassing people apart from criminal harassment. But no, I mean, Kiwi Farms is a gossip website and a phone book. If you don't like people talking about your private information, when you put it in the public, it stops being private. That's the thing. Now, I do think that America has a lot of available public information that I feel is too much, but it is what it is, right? To use the Destiny words, or to use the Ralph words, or to use the Mersh words. That is what it is. It's so fun to say, though. It is what it is.
There's nothing really even illegal about doxing people, so...
I think doxing is now illegal in certain states in America, but I think it's only like 3. In most countries, I think doxing is not illegal, and in most of America, it's not illegal, as I understand it.
Relationship.
We can say it. He Harvey Weinstein.
Didn't Destiny also cut off Chud because he wouldn't fire his editor? No. What? The issue that I had with Chud, also, I never cut anybody off. Sometimes I just won't do content with people anymore. But the issue that I have with Chud Logic is that Chud Logic hosts the Kiwi Farms equivalent of on Discord, which is Spicy Chat, which is basically another group of people that are obsessed with me and talk about my shit way too much. But it's just like a crazy, it's like a Kiwi Farms Lite, except it
illegal Discord calls. Oh my goodness, Chud, how could you?
Exists on Discord, and that's like a community that Chud Logic hosts that I didn't want like any closeness to.
So he doesn't like that Chud has he doesn't like that Chud has Kiwi Farms Lite. But he's quite happy to send his own fan base to Kiwi Farms to harass Lav. Okay, interesting.
So I created, I think, a little bit of space. I didn't ever want to talk to DK. I don't think I cut Chud Logic off because of DK. I don't remember, but Chud might have cut me off because of DK. But
these women, basically, we brought him in and tried to do we all know apparently the consent issue.
Paulie says it isn't doxing if it's public. It should be called something else. Like, the meaning of doxing is just someone's docs, their documents, and the documents is information about them. So if it's private or if it's public, it's doxing either way, at least in my opinion. That's my understanding of the term. People typically use it to mean that you're exposing information that is thus far unseen or is hard to get. But I will agree with that.
She was a consent issue for Destiny. He has consent accidents, apparently. If everything Pixie says is right.
This is a very funny term, consent accidents. I don't think I've heard that before.
Like, it looks like there's an issue with him not understanding you can't do this. But he does. He uses his power. He uses his prestige. And I know you're not this, but, people, Vosh would love this because Destiny's...
Whoopsie, a little bit of a consent accident. Whoopsie, I leaked your nudes. Whoopsie, I recorded the audio of me slurping under a guy's cock when he didn't agree to it. Whoopsie, just a little consent accident. Is that from something? It sounds like familiar, but I don't think I've heard it before.
There's never, ever been a shred of evidence ever pointing this out in any way, size, shape, or form. But it's always like the predominant narrative, largely because Kiwi Farms pushes it, and everybody
No, you you sent videos that you recorded without consent to other people for the purpose of soliciting sex from other people, and they all started sharing the videos between each other and saying, yo, did you send this? Did you allow this to be sent? And they said no. So the evidence is there, and as many as 15 apparently women are willing to testify to this fact. Destiny's fucked. They've got witnesses, they've got a cause of action. Destiny admitted to it. He said everything. Liz Dong Jones said it about the women he raped. Okay, there you go. All right, so it is like an old-timey meme. I guess Sean is showing his power level a little bit there.
Hates Me loves to slurp it up, but like,
I don't know if Destiny wants to use that language, slurp it up, since that's what his video is about.
Using his power in a position of power, and it's all about power and who controls the power. And this is really one of them. And sure, he sweet-talked these women, like, oh, I love you, you're great, you're cool, I'm just a silly little gooner. And he used all of that and then took advantage of it. I mean, this, manipulating women like this he's not the first guy to do this.
No, sure. Just on a side note, with your own perspective on this, are there like debates where you've had like very fractious disagreements with Destiny that like people might try and point to say, well, you're biased against Destiny, you hate the guy?
I've never been on with Destiny, so.
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm sure there's a lot of things we disagree about fundamentally on a political level and maybe philosophical level, but, I mean, like, I'm sure he likes drinking water. I like drinking water. He likes oxygen. I like oxygen. I'm assuming he likes cats and dogs. I like cats and dogs. So there's some common ground.
Sure. And this is something that I really, as I've tried to wrangle my head around as a fucking layman. But it's like
there are some parallels definitely between what Nick and what Destiny are doing. Specifically, the biggest example of this is that they say that they're not going to talk about their case, and then they give out more details about their case. They just need to stop. They just really need to stop.
Like this idea of you can't talk about something, right? To me, seems absurd on the face of it because celebrities will always deny wrongdoing.
If you're on
it's not that you can't talk about it; it's that you should never talk about it. There's really no advantage. It's a pretty simple proposition. The less information you give out, the less information can be used against you. It works in most situations.
Where this attorney has a KF account and is active in your thread. Oh, what's his name on QB Farms? I probably read stupid posts by him before because there was a lot of stupid legal analysis in the QB Farms threads as well. I just assumed it was all non-lawyer people, but again, lawyers can be retards. So
yeah, if you can't talk about something, right? To me, seems absurd on the face of it because celebrities will always deny wrongdoing if they're accused of something. I feel something. I've tried to wrangle my head around as a fucking layman, but it's like this idea of you can't talk about something. Right, to me, seems absurd on the face of it because celebrities will always deny wrongdoing if they're accused of something. I feel like, without question. Neil Gaiman did it, and other examples.
I feel like there's not much. I mean, even if you just say you don't do it, it may be held against you at a certain point to show you're not a reliable person. If it comes out, it's very obvious that you did do it. But yeah, just talk about less is better. The problem for Destiny and the problem for streamers, though, is they have to manage the expectations of their audience, and if they say nothing, people take that as an admission of guilt in its own way.
So I already explained this. I don't know if this video went up before or after, but I mean, if you've seen now my statement and everything, now you understand where that came from. Because for me to talk about it means that it's going to be really brutal for the person on the other side of this lawsuit. And it would be nice to avoid that and give them more space to make a statement. But obviously that is not possible because that other person decided that they would rather.
Oh, yeah. Destiny goes on to talk about how he didn't want to talk about it because he wanted to protect the women. He wanted to be a good bro and protect all the ladies. And he also talks about how he's a victim and all sorts of things. But he can't stop talking about it. He loves it. I mean, he's a yapper. That's his job. All streamers are yappers. He yaps 8 hours a day. And people like talking about themselves. It's just kind of human nature.
Me do the other things. He's like, okay, well, fuck it then, I guess. But that was the reason why. The more that you...
I agree with you, Robin, that grooming can happen at any age. It's a power thing, not age specifically. But if you say grooming in the current year, people assume you're talking about children. That's what Chubb was saying. But I definitely know that that's not what Sean was saying. Now, Destiny has said that he knew about people that were underage and being abused and groomed in the gaming scene, and he chose not to reveal that information until years later because he didn't want to hurt his gaming career in StarCraft. But I totally agree. But I think we'd both agree, right, that if I said that the average person would assume you're talking about children, then that's what people think when they hear that word. It's a bit of a emotionally charged word, I guess you'd say.
Attack the other side prior to any kind of stuff being filed, then the less maneuverability both sides have before any actual complaint is filed. He's not going to say that over here. He's going to say, oh, if he's innocent.
Like, what is the story there? And how does it fit into how Destiny's claimed that himself?
What do you mean as far as Destiny not talking about something?
Well, okay, so just a little bit more. So Destiny has said, at points, I can't talk about this because it could negatively impact my legal case, but seemingly has spoken about it repeatedly.
Yes.
People keep saying this, spoken about it repeatedly. The question is not speaking anything about anything whatsoever. It's making specific claims about the actual claims of the lawsuit. Like,
the claim is that you shared revenge pornography without consent, and you admitted to sharing revenge pornography without consent, and you have upwards of maybe 15 women who will testify that you shared that without consent. So you're fucked. Say goodbye to the millions of dollars. It's all bye-bye, bye-bye. Paying lawyers' fees, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Bye-bye, bye-bye. It's gone.
Say shit like, oh, I think these people are being greedy or whatever. Like, oh, I thought you couldn't talk about it. No. That's not addressing the specific claim. Like, a lawsuit isn't just like, how bad of a guy is this guy? Okay, he's super bad. And now anytime he says...
Well, I guess, but if it goes to a jury, showing that the other person's a bad guy absolutely plays a factor. If you show all these videos of you saying, oh, I wish these people would off themselves, go use this website to look at their private information, I'm sharing all this information, I'm sharing all these videos of me doing this, or they're having this done to me, it's, yeah, showing them as a bad guy is absolutely going to affect the jury. The jury, the judge, and or the lawyers are all people, and people have negative biases when they see these things. It's just a fact of the matter. Now, of course, a judge is supposed to remain impartial. The reality is that every judge is going to make emotional decisions because that's just how we are as human. There is really no person that doesn't make emotional decisions. And when you look like a piece of shit, they're going to treat you like a piece of shit.
think it's going to make them even worse. No, it has to do related to like particular causes of action that are going to be, if it ever gets this far, which who knows, like.
All right, it's not. He thinks it's not going to happen. I think it's happening. They've got a lot of money. They've got a big war chest, and you've got a bigger war chest that they can take, but you have very little in defense of it at the moment.
And I'm guessing, as an attorney, I mean, any attorney worth his salt is going to tell you better have lips like a statue. Do not talk about this. And Destiny's gonna,
How could you argue with that advice? How could you possibly argue with that advice? I don't know. Why is Destiny so angry at Sean for just saying, shut up, stop yapping about your own case?
As Destiny's attorney, I'd be like, you got the Trump stuff, run yourself ragged over Trump, just keep ignoring it. Do not talk about it. It's the best answer for him. But he can't. He's already talked about it a ton as the situation has unfolded. But yes, from here on out, he should really shut up and not talk about it anymore. Talking about it will not help him. He's not going to talk his way out of it. All he's going to do is make it worse.
It's why. Okay. I don't know why I'm going over this. Let's say theoretically, let's say that I sue somebody for, let's say that I find a white person and I get my black friend to sue that person and I'm going to say, hey, I want you to accuse him of calling you the N-word 450 times.
Okay, based. Go on.
While raping your whole family.
All right, that's less based. Don't do that.
Okay. Go ahead and sue him, right? That process could take 1 to 3 years, depending upon everything from start to finish.
Yes, it could take 1 to 3 years. I mean, it's a weird hypothetical. Weird hypothetical, but okay. But yes, it could take 1 to 3 years, and that's lawyer fees that you're going to pay. You're going to pay for that, Destiny, when you inevitably lose because your case is so weak.
If the person's cap, theoretically, for damages on some particular action is really low, or if it's not, if on the merits of the case doesn't seem very likely to succeed, the idea that like as a famous person, now if you're not a famous person, if you're just an ordinary person, then yeah, you generally don't say anything. But as a famous,
it doesn't matter the damages that are like. Even if the judge awards no damages, if Destiny loses, he's going to pay Pixie's team. They're going to rack up over, like, let's say she's got at least 2 lawyers at the moment. I believe she's going to get more. If she has 5 lawyers for 3 years, that's at minimum hundreds of thousands of dollars. If Pixie gets $0, okay? And then if she gets a judgment, that's more money. And they're asking for $5 million. If they even get 10% of that, that's $500,000. Holy shit. Plus hundreds of thousands. Like Destiny's, I swear he's going to lose like over $1 million on this one. It seems like that's the only way this is going to happen. He should just settle with her right now. Just like offer her like $500,000 to shut up. If she doesn't take it, offer her $1 million and then just fuck off.
This person who stands more to lose from the bad publicity than from anything a court could do, there are reasons why you might make a statement, which should be incredibly obvious if you know anything at all about dealing with celebrities or tort.
And at best, it has no effect, but that's going to be really, like, that's the best case scenario. The more likely scenario is he's not going to help himself, and the more you talk, those are now more things that her attorneys, they get the download, they can hold on to, and Destiny tries to go, I never said that. Like, and then this is what you just said. And now
you're just giving more rope to hang yourself with the more you talk. That's why you should not yap about it.
You're going to have to explain that. So that's why you don't talk about it. The more you talk, the more, our job is to figure out how to use your words against you, if we can.
Sure. Can you just explain this discrepancy? Because you're saying that a legal person will say, don't speak on this. But then, like say, Neil
These don't even seem to be good faith attempts to disagree with you. No, it's just like another character assassination arc.
How is this a character assassination to say you shouldn't talk about your legal case? How is that a character assassination? This makes no sense. This is completely disingenuous, or he's actually just too high on his supply. Or maybe he just hasn't had enough cocks to suck today. Who knows? Maybe he's just running low on that.
This is what everybody does. Whatever, anything to...
Statement, releases a statement and says, I've never done anything non-consensually. So how does that spin out?
I'm sure he probably cleared that through PR and a legal team.
Right.
But he's also not online, or he's not in the media all the time. Like, he's not talking all the time. Like Destiny talks 5-6 hours a day, every day. And, if it's a limited thing, that's sometimes, but even then, a lot of attorneys will say, sorry, we're not saying nothing. Sometimes that's a better idea. But, for somebody like him, PR might be involved, and they might have their own ideas, but there's no guarantee that's the right answer either. I mean, I've never had to deal with somebody that big, but I always tell my clients, like, just shut up. You gain nothing by talking.
Oh, hey, good job. You've never dealt with any large clients before. Then that's fine. Then why opine on this?
The people who believe...
No, that doesn't mean he hasn't had large clients. It means he hasn't had celebrity clients. the average. Well, I mean, I'm sure most celebrities are criminals, especially if they're in Hollywood, right? But no, it just means you haven't dealt with celebrities and you haven't had to deal with the negative campaign PR. Because there's the difference between a regular person getting this sort of claim and a celebrity in this sort of claim is that the damages to the reputation will lead to monetary damages as well. And that's the concern. So in Destiny's case, it's much better for him in the long term to be quiet, but he's worried about losing that potential financial interest of losing people from saying nothing. That's what you have to balance. This is a very reasonable thing to think. No, not just because Sean isn't. Yeah, he's not the Hollywood celebrity lawyer man. Okay, he's from Ohio, right? I don't know. I think Destiny's actually like going through some very sad stages here, where he's just kind of realizing he's got nothing and he can't talk his way out of this, which is unfortunate for him because that's what he's good at, is just talking and yapping quite fast.
If you were going to believe it, the people who don't believe you aren't going to read that statement and go, oh, he said he didn't do it. I guess he didn't do it. No, that's never going to convince anyone.
Sure. So from your perspective then, as a legal expert, you would say that it's unlikely that the legal team are going to be satisfied or happy with how he's talking about this.
I mean, I'm sure they probably, well, that's assuming he has a legal team. I mean, what does he have? Who knows? That's the big thing there. He says he's talking to his team. I mean, are you really? Like, that's the other issue. So I can't imagine any attorney who's watching this and saying, oh, this is good. Because watching him talk about this.
I don't think there's a single lawyer. I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen that many, but I cannot imagine that any lawyer anywhere has seen Destiny's response to this and said, like, keep it up, bro. Good job. Nobody does that. Everyone just says, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. But he refuses. He has to keep talking because if he talks fast enough and he talks enough, maybe he'll be right. But unfortunately, he's not going to be.
It's terrifying if I'm trying to defend him.
That's interesting, actually, because there's one point in his recent, like yesterday's stream when he spoke about this a bit more. And I think he said something like, I've gone with a more aggressive legal team. Like, does that mean anything to you?
I mean, he may have tried to get some attorneys who are like hard chargers and fire breathers. But we'll go online to the PACER filings. That's the federal court stuff. I'll send you a link. I don't know if you've ever used it before. You can find the federal court thing where everything that gets put, it's all done electronically. So the day it happens, it's up. We'll see if an attorney enters an appearance because he's got 21 days to respond from the 18th.
How does Chud Logic have 10,000 views on his video and only 300 likes? Whereas our stream has almost not even 500 viewers right now. But we have almost over half of what Chud has. We could beat Chud's like count by the end of the stream. If 100 and something of you, 170 of you like the stream, we can beat Chud's likes on his replay that has more than 10,000 views. That'd be incredible. That means that our chat is punching above its weight tonight. Good job. But you can do more. You can always do more. I'm doing my part.
In between that time, if he retains counsel, they'll enter their appearances. So we'll know if he's got a legal team. We'll know what's going on. But right now, I'm assuming he's probably full of shit. I don't think he's got a legal team because I just can't imagine it at this point.
I think he's full of cum, is what Sean meant to say.
I mean,
maybe
that sounds insane. I mean, I don't know. He
wouldn't be the first guy. I mean, to be fair, when Pixie said I'm going to get legal counsel, I thought, don't talk about it.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say, a lot of these guys are.
The last thing I'll say, continues to talk about it for days on end.
Fuck. And now I don't want to sound like an elitist. What's the term, penny lawyer or whatever?
Is that a term? I've heard of penny stock. I've never heard of a penny lawyer. Like, what does he mean by that? Like, I mean, lawyers sometimes work on contingency, but is this a phrase, or did he just mix up like a different phrase?
Lawyers are like restaurants.
Huh?
If you go into
wait, what? Okay, all right. Let's let him cook at the restaurant. The restaurant analogy. Let's see where he goes with this.
To a restaurant, and somebody hands you a menu.
Oh, peony. Oh, okay. Never mind.
And they have like 700 different items to choose from. None of them are probably going to be that good.
What restaurant has 700 options? First of all, this is a terrible. Like, I mean, if there's no cops in there ordering the eggs over my hammy, I don't even want to hear about it.
If you go to a restaurant and you want a really good restaurant, they probably specialize on a certain type of food. It might be the case that you're at one restaurant that specializes in steak, and then you want really, really, really good sushi. You probably wouldn't go to the same steakhouse and see what they have on the sushi menu. You'd probably go to a place that specializes in sushi, unless you're going to IHOP or
why would you talk
Denny's or something.
Denny's. Have you ever been to Denny's with a cop?
Something.
Like, why wouldn't you just say, Why wouldn't you just say some lawyers specialize in different things? Why would you make this rest on an analogy? I know what he's trying to say, but that is possibly the worst way he could possibly say it. I have... What the fuck do you mean? Do you know that, like... Did you know, bro, that some restaurants serve sushi and some restaurants serve steak? That's kind of like how some lawyers are good with tax accounting and some lawyers are good with criminal defense. Why don't you just say that different lawyers specialize in different things? That's what a weird thing to say. Why did you choose to upload this? Is Last Night of Destiny, is this actually Destiny's channel or is it just like a fan clip? I'm not sure. This is like a clip channel. I'm not sure if it's his official clip channel or not. This is a weird way to end the clip. I don't know. There was something I saw that I was thinking about covering tonight, but I don't think there'll be enough time. And that is,
hey everybody,
Pirate Software. Pirate Software put up a video called "Anything for Content," and we might take a quick 4-minute detour here. He has basically this is his response video to all of the drama, and he's like, "Well, you can share this with people, and they can go down to the timestamp why he made the video." The segments of the video called "Why I Made This Video." Maldavius Fig Tree, that's his online fursona for Second Life. We'll watch that part. Asmongold, Heartbound, Ashes of Creation, Nepo Baby, Voice Changer, Cheating in Games, Final Words. Well, he doesn't cheat in games, I don't think. He's just very bad at video games. Let's take a look at the Maldavius Fig Tree allegations. Let's see what he has to say. We're going to do it at 1.25 speed, though, I think.
Number 1, Maldavius Fig Tree. This is the character that everyone's talking about. You'll actually see this posted all over the internet with people trying to use it as some kind of a gotcha against me. Except this character's never been secret. I talk about it all the time on stream, and I usually...
Maybe you shouldn't. I mean, I don't know if you want to... The thing, like, if you weren't following the Pirates... I think we're back. We might be dropping out for a second. We'll see. I'll give this chat a second to refresh. Basically, what happened is Destiny used to play Second Life, which is a very degenerate game with very degenerate people. And his fursona was a ferret called Maldavius Fig Tree. And this fursona is a little bit weird when you consider he runs a ferret rescue as well. I'm not sure if the animal that you want to dress up and fuck as is the animal you should be protecting in your animal hospital. It's a bit weird, but okay. There was some allegations, and not actually allegations, actually proven, that he was hiring an underage at the time designer to make these sexually suggestive models, and they were selling them in a Second Life shop. Now, there's two sides of this story. Pirate Software's side is that when he found out that this person was under 18, they were fired because of that. And other people say that this is, well, he knew that they were underage all the time, and he just went along with it, and he only fired them because they started to get too big for their britches or something. He did meet this person as well, but allegedly after they're 18. This part of the story is murky because there's no real way to prove it one way or the other. But those are the two sides. But let's see how he continues to say about this.
Refer to...
No, this is not Destiny. This is Pirate Software. He's ex-Blizzard employee, permanent indie dev that's game stuck in early release.
Second Life, which is where this character resides, as an adult version of Roblox. And this character isn't just used in Second Life either. In fact, I've used it in other games. Kill the Moon is a demo that I never ended up releasing because it kind of sucks. It was fun to build, something kind of a side thing, took us maybe 2 months to do, and it was a good exercise, kind of like doing a game jam. But there's the character. I use him everywhere because it's my cool old object head character, and I like that kind of a thing. With that in mind, the allegations that were brought against me...
Well, actually, I'm going to have to fact check him on this because I've seen the fursona for Maldavius Fig Tree, and there is definitely a furry version of this. It's not the full cool little TV head man or anything. No, there's an adult male ferret character that he's kind of lying a bit here, or it's a half-truth.
Pretty goddamn heavy, but they're also not the first time they've been brought against me. The first time was in August of 2024, where I had to put out this announcement that's still up in the news channel on our Discord. I said apparently some people believe that I ripped off an underage artist 16 years ago. That artist went by Wingless Emoto at the time and is now known as Memeface on Twitter. They were 17 and I was 19 when all of this went down, and no, we never did anything sexual together. We made avatars in Second Life, and our work was really...
The avatars were very sexual, and they were used for the purpose of sex in the online game. To say that well, maybe he and that person never did anything sexual. That's sure, whatever. Not really interested in that. There's no way about this. You did employ a minor to make sexualized content for a game, which I think is pretty freaking sussy.
Popular. And by really popular, I mean, we were one of like the top 3 avatar creators at the time. The two of us made about $5,000 to $10,000 US every month doing this. They did
every
all the
month? What the fuck? Now, if you are like an artist or designer, furries have a lot of fucking money. So you can draw fursunas all day, every day, and be like rich, but you have to sell your soul to do so.
Models, and I did all the programming in LSL. This is part of me being a freelancer back in the day before my career really took off. We had a falling out over pay splits, and Wingless open sourced our work. Wingless
this is Pirates Software's version of the events, by the way. The other side is that the person got fired when they were offline because Pirate didn't like the attention they were getting.
At 80-20. Our agreement was 50-50. When I said no, Wingless took all of our stuff, sent it out to the entire world with full permissions. Second Life has a permission system where you can change the permissions that the next user has, and by checking all of the boxes, they had free reign to distribute, modify, and copy our work infinitely. They never got fired, they quit on their own, and did this on the way out.
Can I briefly mention Stop Killing Games? We talked about it a little bit the first time we talked about Pirate Software. Basically, there was a campaign, as I remember it, I might have a loose understanding of it. There was a campaign for legal changes that would protect games that would become like dead in the future, like an online game like World of Warcraft, for example. If Blizzard stops the servers, you cannot play that game anymore. Now, you've already paid for it, you've already bought it. In theory, you should be able to play for something that you bought. So the idea is that, at least as I saw this, is that they wanted to make sure that in the event of a game dies, you could access it, in a fan project or something like that after the company is no longer making money from it. Jason, Pirate Software, was very much against this, and he tried to silence the creator that was doing this. And there was a couple of other reasons about this, as I understand it. One, because I think that the asset licenses that would allow something would negatively affect Jason, because he was doing the same material in games like that. Like, he was doing games as a live service. Again, I have a very loose understanding. Basically, he had a very, very anti-consumer take. Because he wants to extract as much money from people as he can. Very greedy boy. And I don't see why you wouldn't support the idea of saving like abandoned or dead games, because like it is a piece of entertainment, a piece of art, a piece of something you've purchased. You should be able to use it for as long as it exists, right? But I think Thor was saying that it no longer exists after the service dies, and that things like private servers should be struck down because they're just evil or something. But anyway, basic long and short of it, he's very anti-consumer, and he had a hissy fit over this guy because he's like, oh, he didn't talk to me nicely. But you have to go back and watch the entire Pirate Software coverage we did a few weeks ago.
Tabloids at the time do what tabloids do. We were kind of a big deal in the game at the time for the avatars we were selling, so they made extreme and idiotic statements and took the side of just the artists without reaching out to me. These tabloids still exist, and people are starting to dig them up now. That's it. This is 20-year-old drama. Now, here's the interesting part. Mame and I made up 4 to 5 years later. We've been best friends ever since. You can actually reach out to them and confirm any of this. We've been talking.
Well, I couldn't, because when I looked on the Twitter, this account didn't exist. Maybe it exists now? I don't know. Is it up there? Okay, it's back on Twitter. When I searched for this account, I couldn't find it. I think they deleted their account and went to Blue Sky. They may have reactivated their account in wake of this drama.
About them coming on stream to stop this tide of idiocy, because this isn't the first time. This isn't even the second time. This has happened for years. People try to do it all the time to try and take me down, and the two of us always shut it down together because it's wrong. It's completely wrong. And it's using Wingless or Mameface as a weapon to try to bludgeon me when we're friends. And if
you admitted that you used a minor to create sexualized content. Now, you didn't describe it as sexualized content, but that's absolutely what these fursunas were. Make no mistake. I believe you could... Never mind. There's some pretty dirty shit you can do with these things, okay?
Don't believe me? Well, let's just go look at it together. Here's the post by Wingless, Mameface. I'm Wingless Emoto. I really was 17, and nothing sexual happened. If anything had happened, I would have outed him in 2008. See, there's the problem. They made this post publicly on the internet, and people didn't care. In fact,
it's not showing all the furry cocks you can suck, get sucked on, or bone people with. So, not exactly very honest.
In fact, they also made this post publicly on YouTube, on the content nuke for this, and people didn't care. They tried to say that Wingless was actually a sock puppet account of mine, except Mameface's account here is from 2013. And then they tried to say, oh, well, maybe it's him anyway, and he's just been playing the long game. The goalposts keep shifting, but we keep providing evidence. From there, somebody actually did try to impersonate Mameface with a Wingless Emoto YouTube account. The only account they ever had before was Wingless Chimera, and the reason why is because Wingless Emoto is a Second Life name. Emoto is the last name that you could choose from a list of names to put on your character, kind of like mine had Figtree. And at the time, there was no way to change this. Their handle was never Wingless Emoto. It was Wingless Chimera and now Mameface. And when the internet inevitably brings this up in another 3 months to 6 months, I'll just show them this video because we've refuted this time and time again. And the two...
No, you haven't. You just admitted that it was true. I don't know if do you buy this argument like it's old drama? If you did something, I did something shitty. I did something shitty a long time ago. Stop talking about it. Why? Why? If people didn't know that you did this in the past, why shouldn't they know? Maybe the people that just want to see like the game jams and stuff deserve to know that you used a minor to create sexualized avatars for the purpose of role-playing sex in a video game. And maybe you didn't have sex with that person yourself, but you absolutely engaged a minor in a career where they were designing sexualized content. They were the artist. I don't know. It's sus to me. I don't like it. But this is very dishonest in my opinion.
Two of us are still friends after almost 2 decades. You're not going to kill that. And you're not going to kill me with these allegations.
We'll see about that. Anyway, basically he's coping and seething and Moldavia's fig treeing. Let me see. Stops where we are. We'll have a quick check. Let's have a quick check. We might check out. Do you guys want to see the rest of this video? Not tonight, I think. The other segments record why he made the video. Asmongold, Heartbound, Ashes of Creation. Actually, I want to see Heartbound. I want to see one more part of this.
Heartbound, the indie game that I work on. People are currently review bombing this. They're very upset. And I can understand why in some of those cases, I haven't worked on the game for the last year. I could have communicated better this entire time, though, and that's completely on me.
Yeah, so he was working on this. This is an early access game. I thought it was already finished, but it's not. He's been working on this for many, many years, and he stopped working on it so he could do more streaming and playing video games. I feel like that is a very bitch thing to do because people have paid for a product and you have not delivered on it.
I'm a dumbass for not putting out more announcement posts and releasing information to you guys to let you know that what was going on. And I was stressed
There's an interesting thing here. I want to just zoom in. It says early access game. Note, the last update to this game was made over 13 months ago. The information and timeline described by the developer may no longer be up to date. Click here for more info.
Entire time and acting like a fool. With that in mind, I've started putting out updates on this game again. We actually put the first one out on January 19th, 2025. I made an announcement.
Okay, so you only started updating it again after you started getting flack for it?
Out to the Discord about this on that date, saying that we'd be moving to monthly update builds. Everybody was really excited about this, and they're quite happy with it. I then put out a video talking about what was going on and why this all happened. People seem to really like this. It's sitting at 4K likes on it. It's got about 93,000 views, and most of the people inside of the core community were really excited about the prospect of the game coming out now.
And he also liked his own video. I mean, I do that too, but I just want to point this out that he did like his own video. You can't see how many dislikes it has either. So it's not necessarily the best metric. Got like 90,000 views, 4,000 likes. It's kind of a low engagement. I think that this is kind of a skewed perception of it as well, though, because like the people that like Heartbound are going to be watching the Heartbound update video, so they're much more likely as a result to be liking the video anyway. I mean, this is true of any video, though. Really, if anyone that's watching my videos, they like me, they're much more likely to leave a like than a dislike. Although I do say that if you're going to leave, at least leave a like or a dislike, even if you. Because a dislike is basically the same weight on YouTube as a like. It doesn't actually matter. Like any engagement is good engagement. So like it or dislike it, I don't give a shit. But typically this is true that you get like a around 90% like to dislike ratio, just from any given video. But it doesn't really prove or show anything. It's kind of just like one of those things you just say, and people are like, "Well, why that convinced me? Convinced me. No, he's got likes."
And we have it all listed in timestamps for everything that's going on there and why we're doing all of this kind of stuff. With that in mind, this led to the review bomb, but it didn't stop me from working on it. On February 1st, I released the first patch, just like I said I was going to. We put out the patch notes for it. I made another announcement on the Discord. And
it sounds like you only started working on this when people started busting your fucking balls about it.
Plan to make the next.
I'm not sure why you should be getting praise for that. Oh, I started working again when people started giving me shit. Now you should like me again. No. No, what the fuck?
Patch on March 1st. In fact, I work on it all the time. I was even showing it off on stream earlier. This is part of the new environment.
All right, so in the video we went through when we were reviewing it, he's worked on this game for like, at least in the last year, it was like a total of like 12 hours or something over an entire year. And he would just sit on stream for like 12 hours a day and then do like 5 minutes of work and then just like yap for the rest of the time. And to be fair, he's quite entertaining in what he does. I got into Pirate Software from the little YouTube shorts. I thought he was a pretty interesting guy, pretty entertaining guy. Very disappointed to learn all this stuff about him. And his entire downfall, the funniest thing, is because he was bad at the hardcore video game World of Warcraft. He abandoned his team to die like rats while he was roaching out, and he could have saved them. He had the power and the ability to do it. Never mind. He was basically what happened. If you're not following this guy, I'll break it down for you very simply. He played Gandalf, basically, in an online game, a game where if you die, you die, and these people have 4 days, 100 hours playtime on these characters. And then when the Balrog showed up, Gandalf teleported away and left the hobbits to fight the Balrog. That's what happened there, okay? And then when they said, help us, he said, can't you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you? Do you remember that part of the Lord of the Rings? When the Balrog was in the mines of Moria and Frodo was being dragged to hell, and Gandalf was like, well, I'm sorry, Frodo, but I got no mana. I'm the guild enchanter. I can't be dying here. And he's already halfway back to fucking Rivendell. That's what happened in this video game. And then people saw him as a coward, and he was masquerading as like this great wisdom person, like the great expert of games and legacy gamer from the entire thing, because he used to work for the company that made this game. And he talks about hacking and he's such a Chad and everything. But when the push come to shove, he was the first one out the door.
That I'm putting together to be able to get this out to the rest of the public on March 1st. There's a lot of dialogue in here, and it's the end of a chapter, so there's a huge amount of stuff that I have to do. I've also updated the Heartbound ARG in the background, which a lot of people don't even realize is there. But we'll talk more about ARGs and puzzle mechanic stuff later. So with all of that in mind, if you're still upset at me about this, I get it. For those valid reasons of not communicating and not putting out information and not putting out updates to the game, I understand and I hear you.
This is the real reason that streaming
is the other amount of posts that are on there. There's quite a lot of them that you'll find inside of those reviews that aren't even about the video game. They'll put things in there like Maldavia's Fig Tree, which we discussed from the first part of this video, or complaining about me talking to Asmongold, or saying Mana Gem from World of Warcraft because they still haven't let that go, or all the
that's another detail I guess I should say, is that like there's a couple of terms like Blizzard, Mana Gem, Mana. These are all just video game terms. He was so butthurt about people saying he was bad at this video game. He banned over 3,000 people from his live chat and banned the word Mana Gem. If you said Mana Gem, which is just an item that gives a mage more power, it's like a Monster Zero or something for a gamer. He banned 3,000 people in his chat. He was so fucking butthurt. He can't take any criticism whatsoever. All he had to do was say, I'm sorry. Like, look, I blew it. Okay. It came down to the wire and I blew it. Let's go again. And then the World of Warcraft community would have been fine with him. But because of all this, his entire backstory got exposed, and nobody looks at him with respect anymore.
Other shit that goes on in there. It's all of the allegations all of the time, and because of that, I had to lock down the Steam forums to stop people from talking about this stuff because it's incredibly obnoxious.
Yeah, that's a great sign. People are so wrong, you have to stop them from talking about it. Okay.
To stop them from giving critique or, saying like, oh, you did a bad thing. Stopping them from doing things like posting my home address and telling me to kill myself, because that's what a lot of them were. And we reported those to Steam.
To be fair, he did receive a lot of death threats and doxing, and that is bullshit. But the majority of people that got banned were just harmless trolls or people just saying Mana Gem. And he actually went online and he was like, look, bros, I worked for Blizzard. I still know those guys. If you message me something mean, if you message me Mana Gem, I'm going to get you fucking banned. He literally threatened people to saying, like, if you start sending me harassment, when he say harassment, like saying Mana Gem, or like there's a roach, like a pet roach you can get in the game of World of Warcraft. People would give him that. So when people tried to give him a free item, he would report them to Blizzard and try and get their accounts banned because he was butthurt. And he had a copy and paste macro reporting everyone that did anything he didn't like. So he's absolutely fucking butthurt that people don't respect him as an authority anymore. So he's saying like, oh, they were just trying to get me to, they were trying to get like, yeah, there was a couple bad actors, of course. Of course, there's always bad actors. But the majority of those 3,000 people that he slaughtered, not just the 5 people in the dungeon that he abandoned, were just harmless people saying things like Mana Gem or don't you see my mana, things like that.
Thank you, Steam, for banning those accounts for doing that. If you're just a normal player caught in the crossfire, again, I am sorry. Please wait until March 1st and the 1st of every month thereafter for the next updates. Now for the
just caught in the crossfire. You're banned from Steam for daring to question the glorious indie game developer. Why there's so many indie game developers that are so soft? It's unbelievable. So we might check out some of the more of this video another time. But it's also been exposed that he's like basically hated in every online game that he's ever joined. EVE Online, Ashes of Creation. He's been getting a lot of shit for years, and he's like basically the embodiment of the guy with the mask, where he's crying, the Wojak that's crying under the mask. It's like, you know what I mean? That's basically what is happening here. Anyway, let's have a quick see if there's been any updates on this person. Nope, no updates yet. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if anything details come up about that later on. Bell asks, have you seen the Ricada on the stream with Melton and company the last couple of days? I have. I think there'll be a next stream this week. Not that there's been any big drama or anything that's really dropped, or there's any new information on his cases or anything like that. But just because I have so many clips of Nick saying retarded shit that I think I have to do a stream just to clear them out. I need to just get rid of all of it because he's saying some insane stuff. And we might just have to go through and debunk the things that he's been saying. So there'll probably be a next stream this week or next week, I think. I would prefer if there was some like new files or some movement in the cases to go and do another stream, but I've just got so much clips that I think we're looking at a very long, like 2-3 hour stream just looking at retarded neck shit. So any day that ends with the Y, I suppose. Anyway, with that, I think that's tonight's stream done and dusted. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know there's been some gaming streams recently. The people that like the gaming streams really like it, and I know most of the other people don't like it. We'll probably do another long stream maybe this weekend, but the Monday or the regular weekday evening streams for me will be back on schedule with regular content like tonight's stream. If that's what you like, you can look forward to that. Of course, if you have any topics you'd like me to cover upcoming streams, you're going to be sure to send them to me on Discord and or Twitter, email, whatever. And 24-hour Dino stream when? Well, I mean, the next 24-hour stream is when we hit 24,000 subscribers. We probably won't play 24 hours in that day, but we'll probably get a couple hours in. We'll have to see. With that said and done, peace. Have a good one. I'm out. Have a nice one. And yeah, stay safe out there. Cheers.